to Arizona State and Oregon with Bob Neal.
Thank you, Ron, and welcome to Autzen Stadium. We have a noisy house here. We are 13 minutes and 10 seconds at that mark of the first period. The Oregon Ducks had the ball on their opening possession, had to punt it away. Arizona State now with the ball, and they failed to convert and will punt it. Chris McDonald in, and Terrence Whitehead, number 24 for Oregon, is back to receive the punt. Signals fair catch and takes it at the 9-yard line. So here comes Oregon behind Kellen Clemens. Young man completing 60% of his passes, only 653 yards, but 7 TDs, 3 interceptions, and he likes to balance his passing. He's thrown 29 passes to the running backs and 36 to the receivers. So Terrence Whitehead and Dante Rosario will go into the backfield after the 47-yard punt. Tom Ramsey, great to be working with you tonight.
Right back at you, Bob.
First down from the 10-yard line. Ducks 1-2 on the season. First Pac-10 game for them as whistles sound. And we have a penalty marker down. And one of the things we want to point out here, Tom, is the fact that Oregon has lost the last 2 games to ASU. They lost the heartbreaker when they were 6th ranked in the country 2 years ago, 45-42 in a comeback.
Snap, false start on the offense, number 85. 5-yard penalty, still first down. Timer, please set the clock at 13 minutes and 4 seconds.
And you've heard that now. And then last year, 59-14, ASU beat them. And so Oregon has kind of a head case with this. They say they don't, but I feel they must.
That was 104 points that Arizona State has rung up. I did a little quick math there, Bob.
Good, excellent.
A bunch. And it's a defining game for Oregon and for Arizona State. Arizona State, of course, having to play in a hostile environment like Autzen Stadium.
So it's first down 15. Now the ball back at the 5-yard line, and a flag goes again. Wasn't the time clock. It was down only to 8 seconds. So Oregon having a problem with their offense. They were 3 and out the first time they had possession.
False start on the offense, number 72. Penalties enforced half the distance to the goal. Still first down.
And that number 72 is Adam Snyder, the all Pac-10 left tackle.
You wouldn't expect that out of Tim Day, the experienced tight end, or the experienced left tackle, Adam Snyder. You see Mike Bellotti a little discouraged right there, but Kellen Clemens is the leader of this team. He's going to get in the huddle, tell those guys, pay attention. Let's start off well. They've got to be able to run the ball tonight, Bob, but right now when you're back in your own territory, you just got to get away from the goal line.
Yeah, it's now first and 17. Backs are in the end zone. They're after Clemens. He's going to run out of there and out of bounds at the 3-yard line. Ricardo Stewart made the play. Let's take a look at that Oregon starting offensive lineup. Rosario is the leading receiver on this team as he plays fullback. He does it all, as Tom will be telling you. Whitehead, the starting tailback. Day is an incredible tight end. And you look at the offensive line. These guys average 6'5", 310 pounds. Second down, 17. Off and out to the 13-yard line goes Terrence Whitehead. And let's take a look at the Arizona State defense. They've been off to a great start. They're allowing only 12.8 points a game. And you see that defensive line. The one man who's been really active is Hill. He wears number 1, a converted linebacker. Their linebacking core, excellent all the way across. Jamar Williams, Burks, and Dale Robinson, a junior college transfer. And in the secondary, Franklin was Pac-10 Defensive Player of the Week last week. This is third down 8 for the Oregon Ducks. Has his man, it's Demetrius Williams. He gets the first down and out of bounds. Over at the 25-yard line, Josh Golden, 23 for Arizona State, chases him out.
Well, and they wanted to get the ball to Demetrius Williams, number 6, a very explosive player out of De La Salle High School in the Bay Area, Bob. And right there, Clemens hangs tough in the pocket, steps up, throws it deep out. Nice timing that time. And they're working against number 23, Josh Golden. If you got one-on-one out there, Williams versus Golden, you got a pretty good chance.
Number 20, Kenny Washington in the backfield at the tailback spot. He gets the pitch, and he's going to come down that side. He has nowhere to go. He's going to lose yardage as Emmanuel Franklin, 13. The free safety comes up to make the play. So say he was Defensive Player of the Week last week in the Pac-10.
And you mentioned that defense. Number 1 in scoring defense at 12.8 points a game, tied with the USC Trojans, number 1 ranked team in the country, off on a bye week this week. But they are so good at pursuing to the football, Bob. They just really lights out, full speed. Brent Guy, their defensive coordinator, just said the front 4 are playing so well it allows the big 3 linebackers to get to the ball.
And once again, a second down and long for the Ducks. It's complete to Washington out on the left side, and he's out to the 27-yard line. And they'll have a third down long coming up as Ricardo Stewart came over to make that play. He wears number 7. He plays, he's the strong safety, but he plays all over the field. You'll be seeing him, and we'll be hearing from him a lot tonight.
And he's really the catalyst of that defense. He's the leader, the quarterback back in the secondary. Ricardo Stewart is actually second-year team captain, along with Andrew Walter, the quarterback, and they really just play off his enthusiasm and get into the football.
This is third down 7 for the Ducks from their own 28-yard line. Short drop, quick toss, incomplete. Intended for Dante Rosario, their leading receiver, the fullback for the Oregon Ducks. And they're going to have to punt it away yet again. And David Dickman comes on. He's the junior punter. And Rudy Burgess, who is a heck of a kick and punt returner, will go back. He wears number 3. And Burgess, in punt returns, is averaging 9.7 yards per punt. He'll stand at his 40-yard line. Dickman gets off a good one. It's taken at the 35. Burgess avoids one tackle, gets a good block, turns the corner on the outside. He's inside Oregon territory and knocked out of bounds at the 42-yard line by Chris Vincent. And so from there, the Arizona State Sun Devils will have their best field position of the night from Eugene, Oregon.
Are you searching for the great fajita? Chili's sizzling steak and portobello mushroom fajitas. Tender, juicy grilled steak topped with grilled marinated portobello mushrooms and then served with warm flour tortillas and a chimichurri sauce you can drizzle on for even more flavor. Chili steak and portobello mushroom fajitas. Want more flavor in your life?
Welcome to Chili's.
Now when I'm craving a swanky restaurant-style sandwich, I head to my favorite place. From McDonald's all-new premium chicken sandwiches, juicy chicken breast, and a whole line of crispy or grilled combinations. A swanky taste, worthy of my 2 pinky salute.
Charter Media and ESPN presents Sunday Night Football. Every snap, every catch, all season long. From the people who do it best, ESPN and Charter Media. Get your Sunday Night Football fix. You'll always have the best seat in the house with NFL Sunday Night Football on ESPN. Brought to you exclusively by Charter Media and great sponsors like these.
And welcome back to Autzen Stadium. We have 10:30 to go in the first period and a scoreless ball game. And we welcome you to Pac-10 football along with Tom Ramsey. This is Bob Neal, and I think we've got a good one going here tonight. And interestingly enough, the Pac-10 airs it out, scores a lot of points, and we've got 2 teams here playing defense so far.
Well, they always do, in a defining game for each team. Really a tough game for Arizona State, being undefeated, coming into a hostile environment, Bob. And for Arizona State, Andrew Walter really is going to air it out tonight. He might even throw up to 50 times tonight.
And the pass goes incomplete, and a penalty marker is thrown down. Derek Hagan, the intended receiver. That, by the way, was a 37-yard punt and a 23-yard return that set up this play. Let's see what the penalty situation will be. We're scoreless, 10:23 remaining in the first period from Autzen Stadium in Eugene, Oregon. The penalty is against the Sun Devils.
A little bit of a sloppy game out of the gate with all the penalties. You see, trying to get the ball deep to
on
Hagen.
the offense. Number 15-yard penalty, previous spot, still first down.
Nice coverage that time by Marcus Benz, the corner, filling in for Justin Finnessy. And Dirk Cutter on the sideline, calling the plays for that Arizona State Sun Devil team. And you see the numbers on Walter, over 1,000 yards this year. Probably the most important thing, 12 TDs against 1 interception. Bob, a great touchdown to interception ratio.
And he's going to have to dig out of the hole here. It will be first down and 20 as they spot the ball at the 43-yard line.
I don't think he views yardage as an obstacle. It could be 1st and 3 or 1st and 20. He doesn't mind.
And the officials having a bit of a problem here with setting the clock with 10:23 to go in the first period. The noise, I don't know if you can hear it as loudly on the television with our expert audio people. They try to balance all that, but it is deafening here. 54,000. It's a sellout once again in Eugene, Oregon. And this crowd can get really noisy. As a matter of fact, Arizona State practiced all week in Tempe with loudspeakers playing at their practice facility. Now first and 25. That's Richardson in motion. The handoff goes to Hakeem Hill, who gets a yard or two and then meets a mountain of yellow and green. Now let's take a look at our U.S. Army of One starting lineups for Arizona State University. As you see, there are the tight ends and receivers. Hakeem Hill playing because the first two running backs for Arizona State are out of the game. One waived for suspension and Randy Hill because of injury. And now we were talking about the limited tailback position. They have called on Rudy Burgess, number 3, who last played tailback in high school. They split him out of the backfield, and now we have an empty backfield on a second down 23 for Andrew Walter. Kick toss left side. It is complete to Hagen, who gets inside Oregon territory, but not much of a game. Marcus Benz comes up to make the play. He played well last week for Oregon in the Idaho win. And here's the Oregon defensive line. Solomona had a big interception, 34-yard touchdown return last week. But the man to watch for, and the man that you know ASU is watching for, is 92 Devin Long. The linebackers, Reed, Matson, and Trucks, and the secondary, and they are worried because they've been torched. I mean, torched by Andrew Walter. You look at their lineup here tonight, they've been talking about how they've got to play with confidence and pride to face this aerial blitz from ASU. 3rd and 17. The blitz is on! Speaking of blitz, it was the Oregon blitz. And Walter goes down at his own 35-yard line. It was linebacker Anthony Trucks who got him.
And they really sold out that time, Bob, to bring the heat. They did not even cover the inside receiver. Trucks, coming from his linebacker position, just shot inside the tackle. And Walter is not the fastest quarterback you're going to play against, but you have to disrupt his timing. Arizona State disrupted there on their punt. But if you disrupt Andrew Walter and his timing and setting up, you got a chance on 3rd down.
We've had a lot of flags thrown here in the first period with 8:22 remaining. And another marker goes down as Arizona State now is going to have to punt the football away. And how about this? 4th down and forever. 4th down, 31 from their own 37. Were they to go for a first down, they'd have to go to the 32-yard line.
On the offense, number 49. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Well, in terms of a field position game, right there, Oregon did pick up a ton of yards, and Mike Bellatti's such a good game manager. I tell you, 4th and forever.
Chris McDonald will punt it from his own 20. Terrence Whitehead back. Not a very good punt. It's wobbly. It's going to hit down at about the 34, but it does take an ASU roll and will roll dead right at the 22-yard line. We are scoreless at Autzen Stadium in Eugene, Oregon. ASU nothing. The Oregon Ducks nothing.
Whoever said the world was small never saw it in high def. Now, the IMAX movie experience comes home on InHD. The best in high-definition entertainment. Exclusively on InHD, only on cable.
I never thought about it. I always thought cancer happened to other people. I was in total denial that I had lymphoma. That was years ago. Ashland Bellefonte Cancer Center helped me get my life back. I'm young, and there's so much more that I want to do. Thank you, Ashland Bellefonte Cancer Center, for the hope and the support that I needed.
Ashland Bellefonte Cancer Center, the most comprehensive cancer treatment in the area.
Welcome back to Autzen Stadium. No score midway through the first period. Bob mentioned earlier the fact that 2 years ago, Oregon was ranked 6th in the country before they lost that heartbreaker to Arizona State. Not only were they ranked 6th in the country, they were 6-0, and they are on their way to having a shot at a national championship until Andrew Walter had that coming out party. Since that game, their record is 10-13. Many feel that was a defining moment in the direction of the program, and they need a win tonight against Arizona State to reverse directions.
And speaking of reverse direction, the single setback was fullback Dante Rosario. He is the leading receiver on this Oregon team and a comfort blanket, as it were, with Kellen Clemens. He gets the reception and takes it all the way up to the 44-yard line for a first down for the Ducks.
And there's a reason why he's the most popular receiver on that Oregon Duck team. Wow, he got nailed out of bounds too, Bob, but he has such good hands. He's in that hybrid position. He's kind of an H-back, kind of a fullback. He can play tight end. He's big enough. Big, fast, and tough. We like those guys.
Like you. Everybody remembers Tom Ramsey, quarterback at UCLA in the early 80s. That is complete, and a gain up near midfield to Terrence Whitehead. It wasn't pretty, but it was effective.
I know it's punished you, Bob, to watch my highlight reel daily over the last 3 days we've been together, but Kellen Clemens right there. You see him just fighting to stay alive, and that's what good quarterbacks do. They don't take a sack. They don't take a loss of down, and Terrence Whitehead doing a nice job catching the ball out of the backfield.
He's a workman-like running back. He's not got great speed, but he gets the job done. He had 9 receptions also coming into this ball game. So he's a good worker in the backfield. Right now, the only setback is Dante Rosario as Clemens drops the throw on second down 4. Incomplete. Down there at the 15-yard line. It was intended for Marcus Maxwell, number 83. Fans, this telecast is available with Spanish translation, not from me, via the SAP button on your remote control. Buenos noches. But there's much better Spanish on your SAP. Terrence Whitehead, Dante Rosario will come into the backfield on a second down 4 now for the Oregon Ducks. We are scoreless with 7:09 to go in the first period from Autzen Stadium. There's Mike Bellotti, 10th season at Oregon. For 10 years, the winningest program in the Pac-10. This is the Pac-10 opener for the Ducks. ASU beat Oregon State last week. Over the middle, incomplete. That was a rifle shot intended for Williams, Demetrius Williams, and it'll go incomplete and bring up third down 4.
Well, these teams know each other well. Mike Bellotti, of course, was an offensive coordinator before becoming head coach here at Oregon. Dirk Cutter was an offensive coordinator here at Oregon, the head coach of Arizona State in 1996 and 97. Of course, we know where he is now. Of course, Jeff Tedford, another offensive coordinator leading the Cal Bears. Big win today, another top 10 team. Had a lot of success there.
David Dickman, and that is 4th down and 4. Burgess is going to let the ball. It takes a ASU bounce. They're going to down it at the 27-yard line. So the Ducks couldn't get the first down. They punted away. We remain scoreless with 6:54 to go in the first quarter.
If you want to add a little flair to your floors, you can. From carpet to hardwood to laminate, nobody covers more floors than the Home Depot. Only the Home Depot has the new DuPont Real Touch Elite. It's so authentic you have to feel it to believe it. Install it yourself or get expert installation through the Home Depot. Right now, get 12 months, no payments, no interest on any flooring, kitchen, bath, or appliance purchase of $2.99 or more with your Home Depot consumer credit card. Only at the Home Depot. You can do it, we can help.
There's a place for us, a time and place for us. Hold my hand, and we're halfway there.
For those in the academic, medical, and cultural fields whose work serves the greater good, we serve you. TIAA-CREF, Financial Services for the greater good.
At Scrip and Save Rent-A-Car, you get more than just the lowest rates. To prove it, we're introducing a new service. Personal navigators in each car to give you directions. We'd love to put real navigation systems in our cars. Who do you think we are, Hertz?
Hertz offers Neverlost, the in-car satellite navigation system that makes getting there easy. It's your trip. Rent wisely.
College football on TBS brought to you by the Home Depot. Go from wondering how to knowing how at the Home Depot. You can do it, we can help. And by Allstate, are you in good hands? The United States Army, an army of one. And by Kia, 8 cars, 1 belief. Make every mile count. Hakeem Hill back in at the tailback spot for Arizona State. Sun Devils have the ball at their own 29. First down 10. Hagan and Richardson's are the wideouts. Richardson in motion. Hakeem Hill gets back to the line of scrimmage right near the 30, and that is all. Jerry Matson made the stop, and it's a good time to tell you, if you're not already familiar with the running back situation at Arizona State, their starter, Lauren Wade, has been suspended indefinitely. There's an administrative investigation going on. Randy Hill, their backup, blew out his knee last week, is out for the season. And even though Hakeem Hill is playing, he has a broken forearm. We may see some of Preston Jones and or Rudy Burgess in the backfield. This is second down and 11. Walter looking, running. There's a blocker in front. Walter, not exactly nimble of foot, goes down at the 29-yard line. Robbie Valenzuela makes the play. He wears 99 for Oregon.
Well, Nick Aliotti, the defensive coordinator for Oregon, told us yesterday they have to get a great push from the front four. Devin Long, Haloti Nata, Robbie Valenzuela, and Chris Solomono really did a nice job. See Aliotti right here, defensive coordinator, 14 years for the Ducks. Sitting next to him on his left, Neil Zambucas, the dean of assistant coaches in the Pac-10 at 25 years.
It's 3rd and 9. Just inside the 30-yard line for ASU. The game remains scoreless. Everybody going out. This is everybody go long. It is incomplete. However, a penalty marker goes down as Richardson was interfered with right down there near the 40-yard line. Number 5 is Aaron Gibson.
I don't know about the call, but I have to compliment Terry Richardson for throwing his arms up and looking like he got mugged by Aaron Gibson. Watch Richardson. He run a turn route right at the sticks.
Pass
Gibson had a pretty good lock on
the
him.
defense, number 5. Penalty is forced at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
And speaking of Gibson, Gibson is the young man who was 2 years ago torched at the quarterback spot. He threw 3 touchdowns over him, did Walter. He got so upset he lost his starting job. He had to battle back, came in as a nickel back, and is finally back in. And this game really is about redemption in the mind of Aaron Gibson.
And a whole host of those defensive backs for Oregon.
Yeah, it wasn't just him.
Yeah.
He's the one who took it hardest, I believe. First down 10 from the 41-yard line. The play fake. Great coverage. And they will allow that as an incomplete pass as there was a receiver in the area. He was outside the tackles. Jerry Matson was the man chasing Andrew Walter. There he is, number 52, and you love this guy's play.
Love the guy, just from a leadership perspective. Great instincts. Not a big guy, Bob. Not a big guy. He ends up coming late. Watch, he's going to all of a sudden recognize he shoots in and just nails Walter. His speed and his recognition of the play, just tremendous. Number 52, Jerry Matson, the senior middle linebacker.
Yeah, by today's football standards, he's small. 6'1", only 225. This is second down 10 from the 40. Not a lot of running room. However, out to the 45-yard line goes Hakeem Hill. He was tackled by Valenzuela. Hakeem, number 22, playing with a brace on his right forearm. He's a junior and the son of J.D. Hill, who will remember.
That's right, the great pro, J.D. Hill. He's actually playing. That brace is more like a cast. That's a club. And one of the things I noticed on film with Hakeem Hill, he has a lot of trouble holding the ball in his right hand, understandably. So if you're the Oregon defense and he has that ball in the right hand, you know they're going after it big time.
Yeah, Devin Long said he'd been practicing it all week. He's 92, the right end for Oregon. This is third down 6. Walter looking for a completion. He does not get it. Was intended for 89, Matt Miller. He couldn't hold on. And once again, ASU will have to punt it away. Chris McDonald comes onto the field. We have 4 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the first period in a scoreless ball game from Watson Stadium in Oregon.
And Gibson was the guy right there. He got a little more redemption. He made the play against Miller. Nice play. Oregon still trying to get better field position.
McDonald in the punt. Whitehead is back, and he's going to catch it and fall down at the 18-yard line, and the penalty marker goes down. Let's check this out.
He may have interfered with Whitehead's attempt to come in and catch it on the run.
Maybe, but that's going to be a tough judgment call, would it not? Because if he's running towards you to catch it, well, we'll see. I'm just offering my philosophy on that, which you don't care about at this moment.
Interferes with the opportunity to catch a kick on the kicking team. Penalties enforced 15 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
Man, that's a big penalty.
That's a big penalty, you know, and you got to credit Terrence Whitehead, Bob, for going for it right here. Watch, Emmanuel Franklin right in his space, in his grill. And Whitehead, great concentration, coming down with the ball. And you really got to like his competitiveness going after it and trying to catch it.
Yeah, in college football this year, there's no longer that 2-yard halo. Yep. It is simply a judgment call on whether or not the punt receiver has enough room to catch the ball. Clearly, he did not there. And that moves the ball up here to the 31-yard line. And Kellen Clemens brings him out once again. Here's the handoff. Whitehead cuts it back inside and then outside for a yard or two, maybe 3 yards. He gets near the 35-yard line. By the way, our 1st and 10 line is brought to you by Home Depot. Brings up 2nd and 6 with 3:52 remaining in the first period of play. Now Demetrius and Williams come on the field at the wideout spots for Oregon. The Ducks 1-2. The Ducks lost in a surprise upset loss to Indiana. Then played well, but lost to Oklahoma, no surprise. And then last week beat Idaho, and this is the Pac-10 opener. And yet another penalty marker. Tim Day, 85, the outstanding tight end.
Dead ball.
For Oregon.
False start on the offense, number 85. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
So Tim Day, that's 2 times the procedure calls against Day here in the first period.
Tough break for Oregon. Had a nice gain on first down. The offensive line doing a nice job getting a nice push against a very aggressive Sun Devil defensive line. Penalty so far. 3 for Arizona State, 4 on the Oregon Ducks. 2 of those on Tim.
Yeah, 7 penalties in 1 period with 3:23 left. There's to say the least, unusual. Now they have a spread formation here with 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right for Oregon on 2nd down and 11. Clemens goes to Whitehead. Whitehead across the 35 to the 38-yard line.
Oregon is such a good screening team, and Bob, you and I were at practice the other day, and really they had a whole period that they just ran all their screens, and they had 10 in the game plan this week. It's the most they've had in the game plan for any game, so they've obviously seen something on film. With ASU playing as hard as they are, a lot of times upfield rush, you can get in right behind them with a little screen, and they're quick screens. Right there, a nice gain by Oregon.
This is 3rd and 2 now from the 39-yard line. 2:34 to go in the quarter. Here's the handoff. Gets the first down. Then is stood up at about the 43-yard line. Justin Burks makes his 3rd tackle of this first period.
Now that's what they want to do. They want to get some first downs on the ground. Terrence Whitehead can take it up between the tackles. Nice job by Anoka Lucas, the big center from Kamehameha High School out of Honolulu, Hawaii. What they found a couple weeks ago against the Oklahoma Sooners, Bob, they could run between the tackles. They could run up the middle. They tried getting wide. They don't have the speed at running back to get wide, but they can hurt you right up the middle.
Yeah, again, Whitehead durable at running back. He does have 2 fumbles. That pass is complete to Keith Allen, and it's enough for a first down inside Arizona State territory. Just inside the 45, Josh Golden, 23, covering Keith Allen on the play. Keith, a senior from Torrance, California.
Keith Allen's a good-looking athlete. Again, Kellen Clemens sets his back foot, ball's out, and Keith Allen out of Torrance, California, out of West Torrance High. Nice job getting his hands on the ball, controlling the football. Another first down for the Oregon Ducks.
That was a 12-yard gain. A minute 42 to go in the period. Dante Rosario back in. He's lined up on a wing on the right, the fullback. They pitch to Whitehead. Whitehead needed a block. Didn't get it, but he came back inside. Oh, the ball is loose. It remains in the possession of Oregon. Whitehead keeps those legs churning.
Boy, he does. And Dante Rosario, you mentioned him in the slot that time, Bob. He just flat out missed his block on number 4, Jamar Williams. So he's the one that knifes through there and almost gets Whitehead in the backfield. Whitehead struggling to stay alive, and then looked like Manuel Franklin was the one that stripped the ball. Whitehead out of Crenshaw High School.
Less than a minute to go in the first period. Whitehead and Rosario lined up in a 9. Steps into that pocket, has a man deep. It's Williams, incomplete. Down at the 2-yard line, coverage by number 8, Chris McKenzie.
Well, again, that's their best receiver going against Arizona State's best cover guy, Chris McKenzie, doing a great job staying stride for stride with Demetrius Williams, trying to get a post right down the middle of the field. And Clemens, a nice ball, but just great coverage that time by McKenzie.
McKenzie's their best cover guy. He runs, they say, a 4.24.
I want to see the clock.
I do.
I want to see the clock.
A 4.241, I got to see.
Yeah, wait till the NFL guys come in time, and he'll be a 4.4 guy.
3rd 4 is the down, and a yard or 2 is all we have on that one. We have a scoreless game going here, and the defenses have stepped up in this game in addition to the 7 penalties that have been called.
And Bob, they did not get a favorable spot. Oregon didn't get the favorable spot. Mike Bellotti saying, why didn't we run the route to get the first down? They may go for it here. It's a long field goal, even though Jared Siegel is such a great kicker, the leading scorer of all time for the Oregon Ducks. I still think it's a pretty long kick.
Yeah, and as you see, it is short by about half the length of the football, or less.
Well, if you want to get the crowd behind you, you want to get the momentum in your favor, you go for it here. And then here comes Clemens back onto the field.
Yeah, Siegel is, Tom was just telling us, a great kicker, but he's not coming on the field right now. He has the longest field goal of 59 yards, but Kenny Washington comes on the field. They'll spot the ball. The ball is just inside the 35-yard line. 32 seconds in the period.
Andy Ludwig, the offensive coordinator, standing near Mike Bellotti, setting the play in.
Kenny Washington and Rosario in the backfield, and they split Rosario out to the left side, but this is going to be a keeper. It's still going to be close. It's forward progress there that picked up the first down. And according to where the official is standing, it looks as though he made it. You see our line?
Boy.
Our Home Depot first down line, which is really accurate, so we'll see where they spot the ball.
Very accurate, that's right. Just like one of those tape measures you buy out there, right?
Yes. Yes. Look at that. The ball is setting precisely on top of that line. So
I don't know if they got it.
They're bringing it in. I don't know either.
I think they're short.
I think it's kind of like in tennis, though. If it's or the out of bounds, if it's on it, it's over it.
He got it. Not by much. Half of a ball.
Yeah, it was on it. It was enough, and it's a first down, Oregon. So now, of course, Mike Bellotti, brilliant in that pick.
There's Mike Bellotti.
Enjoyed spending time with him and his assistant coaches. We watched a long, tough practice on Thursday night. It'll bring up 1st and 10 now. The clock winding down in the first period with 9 seconds and counting. And it's going to wind down. That's going to be the end of the first quarter. We have a scoreless game. Along with Tom Ramsey and Craig Sager, Bob Neal with you on our TBS doubleheader night. Hope you're enjoying our college football presentation. And we'll get ready for quarter number 2 here from Autzen Stadium.
The Kia Sedona with a 5-star safety rating. More safety features, more safe crossings.
Thanks, Mom.
Welcome to more. The Kia Sedona. The mid-size Kia Optima. More value, more look what I got. Welcome to more. The Kia Optima.
Tune in tonight for all the late-breaking news from around the country, including sports.
Please listen carefully.
You've been selected to join our
agency
as a remote operative. To achieve your mission's objectives, you must join forces with other agents online. Team up with other players online. Siphon filter the Omega strain. Rated M for mature. So stay informed. Stay with us, your top source for news.
PlayStation 2, now just $149.
Now when I'm craving a swanky restaurant-style sandwich, I head to my favorite place. From McDonald's all-new premium chicken sandwiches, juicy chicken breast, and a whole line of crispy or grilled combinations. A swanky taste, worthy of my 2 pinky salute.
Carter Media and ESPN presents Sunday Night Football. Every snap, every catch, all season long. From the people who do it best, ESPN and Charter Media. Get your Sunday Night Football fix. You'll always have the best seat in the house with NFL Sunday Night Football on ESPN. Brought to you exclusively by Charter Media and great sponsors like these.
Welcome back to college football on TBS, part of Big Play Station Saturday as we get set to start the second quarter now. We have a scoreless game, 1st and 10 Oregon at the 34-yard line of Arizona State. Here's a pitch. It's going to be a pass. Whitehead pulls it in, though, and decides to run the opposite way and gets about a yard, not much more. Jordan Hill, the converted linebacker, who's now a defensive lineman, shows you why he was a linebacker. He runs him down. We saw him work on that play. As a matter of fact, I saw him try that play against Idaho last week in the video. It did not work then either.
And they're trying to sell sweep here, Bob, but ends up Terrence Whitehead pulls up. He had Tim Day running a little bit of a fly down the middle there. Demetrius Williams also a target. Just great coverage that time by Arizona State. No fooling him.
7 carries for Whitehead, as a matter of fact, for 31 yards so far tonight. Not much on on that one for Whitehead. Ishmael Thrower, number 49, making the stop for Arizona State. Not what we expected. Would you say that's accurate in terms of scoring?
Not what we expected. Yes.
Thank you for
verifying that.
You thought of it long and hard.
What I'm not surprised at, though, is that Oregon is staying, that they're not getting too complex. They're staying within themselves. A lot of heavy running, trying to get the ball, trying to control the clock, and you're going to have to get the ball upfield, though, pretty soon.
I mean, a man is open at the 8-yard line. Terrence Whitehead, he's out of bounds at the 7-yard line. It'll be first down goal for the Ducks.
Well, there you have it. You know, you run inside, Bob, and then you put your tail back on a linebacker. And you know what? You'll take that any day of the week. Kellen Clemens does a nice job. Pulls up. There's a nice catchable ball there for Terrence Whitehead. One-on-one with the middle linebacker, Justin Burks. And Whitehead, again, very versatile. Can run inside, can catch the ball out of the backfield. Does a nice job of running screens. And right now, Oregon set up to knock on the scoring door.
23-yard pass puts it at the 7th. First down and goal. That's Williams in motion. They fake an end around. Clemens, the linebacker in his face. He's going to get rid of it in front of the end zone, incomplete. Actually, it was Kyle Caldwell in his face, the defensive left end. The pass intended for Keith Allen.
I think it's really important for Oregon to get 6 points here. I mean, you got to keep taking shots at the end zone. Arizona State has been so tough on opponents, keeping people out of the end zone, that you got to get 7 here. See the numbers on Clemens so far, 8 of 13, 93 yards. Doing a nice job keeping it to his guys. Look for Tim Day down here, number 85. Big tight end coming over, lining up at the Y.
Here's the handoff. They're going to try to run it with Kenny Washington to the right side. A yard or so. He is not quite up to the 5-yard line. Jamar Williams makes the stop. Jamar Williams, number 4. Justin Burks, number 5. And 44, Dale Robinson. These linebackers for Arizona State so far this year have been spectacular.
Yeah, Dale Robinson especially. The JC transfer coming in, and number 5 tackler in the Pac-10. They've really fueled this whole defense. Robinson, Burks, Williams. Jamar Williams, of course, with 3 interceptions, leading the Pac-10 conference.
We have third down and goal from the 5. The single setback is Rosario. Clemens in some trouble, avoids it. Just has to throw it out of bounds. That's Sun Devil defense. A, covering well, and B, applying some serious pressure to Clemens.
That's a veteran quarterback move right there. He ends up getting a ton of heat, Bob, off the edge. They're going to come right off the edge. Clemens ends up eluding the defender here, steps out of it. Got 3 receivers up top. He doesn't roll that way. He actually came back to the single receiver side, does the right thing, throws it out of bounds, saves the play. Live for another day.
Here's Jared Siegel, the all-time leading scorer. He just broke that record last week against Idaho. He'll try a 22-yard field goal. He is only 1 of 3 on the season. There haven't been that many opportunities for Oregon. Here is the field goal attempt. It is up. It is good. And Oregon has broken the ice with 12:38 to go in the second quarter from Autzen Stadium. The Ducks, in their Pac-10 opener, take a 3-0 lead.
Baby, I didn't treat you quite as good as I should have. If I made you feel second best, girl, I'm sorry I was blind, but you were always on my mind. You were always on my mind.
There are over 200 ways to become an Army of One. Log on to GoArmy.com.
People everywhere are experiencing a breakthrough. Taco Bell's new Big Bell Value Menu, featuring the spicy chicken soft taco with shredded chicken simmered in Mexican spices. To keep your stomach and your wallet full, think outside the bun.
You've waited, you've dreamed, and now it's finally back. Endless Shrimp at Red Lobster, the only time of year to enjoy all the shrimp you can eat. Don't miss Endless Shrimp right now, only at Red Lobster.
Welcome back. Oregon with the 22-yard field goal off the foot of Siegel leads it 3-0. And before the kickoff, let's go down to Craig Sager. Craig.
Well, Bob, you mentioned that Siegel only had 1 field goal so far this year. He also missed an extra point last week. He had a streak of 98 consecutive. They had a problem. They had changed holders. Kellen Clemens for the last couple of years have been holding. He decided it was too much of a distraction, so they brought in a new holder, Brady Leaf. They've been working all week in practice. He did a great job holding right here. And obviously, we have a new twosome over here because we had celebration between the two instead of a lecture and a yelling match like we had a week ago.
All right, thanks, Greg. Here is a high, short kickoff. It is coming down on the wing to Golden. He gets across the 20, but he has nowhere else to go. So it was a pretty but a very effective kickoff, and it is stopped at the 20, and that's where Arizona State will take over. And let's go quickly to Ernie Johnson. Ernie.
Thank you very much, Bob. Ohio State's beaten Northwestern 24 straight times, but look what's happening tonight at Evanston, Illinois. Little slip screen, Brett Bassinet to Mark Fillmore, and Northwestern on top 20-10 as they play in the third quarter, about 9:15 to go in the third. Bob?
Dare I say, and anger all the Ohio State fans as a Michigan man, that's not all that bad news to me personally.
I won't touch that.
I'm going to go no further.
Ouch.
On 1st and 10. The handoff to Hakeem Hill. He is driving and driving to the 28-yard line. Tucker was the first man to hit him, but Hakeem Hill, who is not really what you'd call a large guy, at 6 feet 215, makes about 8 yards on the play.
And take a look at the Oregon defense. They are pressuring Andrew Walter, coming off the side, A.J. Trucks. They're stuffing the run, Jerry Mattson and company. Most importantly, they're getting the push out of the front four. The big defensive lineman, also 52, the middle linebacker. Take a look at the total yards. That's a stuffing.
This is 2nd down and 3. They'll try to run for it and get it. And look out, he almost broke loose. He's still going. Hakeem Hill was a monster on that run. And there's a penalty marker down.
Well. Yes, our graphic operator's busy now changing that 12 yards to another bigger number. Hakeem Hill doing a great job. Look at him tuck the ball in that left arm and exploding up the middle. Great job of trap play. Tell you what makes that work. Drew Hodgson, their center, back in the fray for the Arizona State Sun Devils.
On the defense, number 28. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, automatic first down.
Wow, that's the 15-yard face mask on the free safety, J.D. Nelson. And look where that moves the ball for the Sun Devils, all the way down to the 30-yard line of Oregon.
Boy, a big play that time. Just a trap led by the big center.
Hill has 44 yards rushing. The play fake to Hill. The blitz is on. Walter breaks the tackle. He gets it inside the 25 and out of bounds near the first down marker. He was definitely getting out of bounds, trying to reach the ball up there to the marker. He was chased out of bounds by a man who's been in his face all night very often, and that's 52, Jerry Mattson.
I am so impressed with Andrew Walter, Bob. I've seen his progression. He was a young quarterback a couple years ago. Didn't really know everything he was facing in Pac-10 play, and right now he's got 67 touchdown passes, which he's blowing by Jake Plummer, Danny White. A lot of great players in Sun Devil history, and Andrew Walter, he's knocking on the door for Pac-10 records now.
This is 2nd down 1. Hill hit in the backfield, and he can't break loose this time, thrown for a loss. Hakeem Hill got it, tried the right side, and Oregon was up to the task on that play.
J.D. Nelson, the free safety, came and filled and finished off Hakeem Hill. And that's called fitting in defense. When they fit into their gaps, they come flying up. J.D. Nelson, one of the leaders of that defense, only a sophomore. Marley Tucker.
We are at 3rd down 2 at the 22. 10:46 to go in the first half. Ducks lead it 3-0. Sun Devils driving and threatening, and Walter doesn't like what he sees or what was called. He calls the timeout to come to the sideline. So we'll see what the plans are. It's 3rd down 2 when we return from the 22 of Oregon.
Sunday on TBS.
I think we're going in!
Get ready to be blown away.
Where's my truck? There it is.
Helen Hunt, Bill Paxton.
Cow. Another cow.
Actually, I think that was the same one.
I gotta go, Julia. We got cows.
Twister, Sunday at 8/7 Central on TBS.
Are you searching for the great fajita? Chili's sizzling steak and portobello mushroom fajitas. Tender, juicy grilled steak topped with grilled marinated portobello mushrooms and then served with warm flour tortillas and a chimichurri sauce you can drizzle on for even more flavor. Chili's steak and portobello mushroom fajitas. Want more flavor in your life?
Welcome to Chili's.
Isn't that Harold?
Mm-hmm. Daytime calls are just too expensive, so he went nocturnal.
Yes, it is very late.
Get another wireless plan, Harold.
Daytime calls costing you a fortune? Come to T-Mobile and talk whenever nationwide.
Daytime.
T-Mobile gives you the most whenever minutes. 1,000 for just $39.99.
T-Mobile, get more.
College football on TBS brought to you by Chili's. Want more flavor in your life? Come to Chili's. And by Pioneer Pure Vision Plasma Displays. The purest color, the purest experience. Sun Devils 3rd and 2 from the 22. Andrew Walter, who 2 years ago threw for a Pac-10 record 536 yards against the Ducks. Look at him tonight. 1 of 5 for only 6 yards. Play fake, rolling. Defender in his face in the end zone. Wide open. Touchdown, Arizona State. The catch made by Jamal Lewis, the second team H-back. And just like that, as we talk about Walter being 1 of 5 for 6 yards, he answers with a 22-yard touchdown toss.
And what it is, Bob, it's a waggle play that every team in America runs. Heck, we run it in youth football. And what you do, you send the guy out in the flat, you got a guy dragging over the top. Andrew Walter with nice play-action fake, touchdown Sun Devils.
And by the way, for Jamal Lewis, only his 7th catch of the year, the point after is good by Jesse Ainsworth, and his first touchdown catch. So the Sun Devils have taken the lead, 7-3. We have 10:35 remaining in the first half from Autzen Stadium, Eugene, Oregon.
You can turn your master bath into a masterpiece. The Home Depot can show you how, with elegant designs for your bath you won't find anywhere else. We'll help you freshen up with a style that's distinctively yours. All the best brands are here, and no one beats our prices. Right now, get a $50 gift card with any Kohler purchase of $350 or more. Create a personal private retreat. You can. Only at the Home Depot. You can do it, we can help.
The Kia Amante Premium Sedan. More luxury, more pride. Welcome to more. The Kia Amante. The Kia Amante Premium Sedan with 8 airbags. More security. More peace of mind. Welcome to more. The Kia Amante.
What are you doing?
I am online, about to acquire the Crystal Leaf, which will open the
I
gate.
thought you said you were going to the post office for me.
It's done.
Excuse me?
I went to USPS.com. Paid for postage online, printed myself a label.
So now you're going to the post office.
Sort of.
Hi, Ted.
Hey, Earl. Here you go.
Have a good one.
What are you doing?
I think I got the crystal leaf.
Just one more way the U.S. Postal Service is working for you.
Sun Devils drove it 79 yards in 5 plays in 2 minutes. It was capped by the touchdown pass from Andrew Walter to Jamal Lewis.
Boy, that's just a great play-action fake that time. The lineman sold it. And when the linemen sell it, everyone bites. Great job by Walter. Touchdown number 68 for him.
Yeah, and you know, just down the road a little bit, there's a fellow named John Elway with 77.
Yeah, that's number 1 in the Pac-10. That's been there a long time.
Ainsworth with the kickoff. Coming down to Kenny Washington. He's up to the 26, and down he goes. And it's time for the Fan Rant, brought to you by Kia Motors, which reminds you to make every mile count.
Quack attack! Quack attack! Break the devil's back!
Just remember that first guy was somebody's father, and these other were somebody's children.
And Sager's out there somewhere.
Yeah, not even counting him. Here's a pass over to the near side that falls incomplete. That was really close to whether or not that was lateral or not. It was tipped by Kyle Caldwell, number 50.
Kyle Caldwell playing tough in that defensive end position. One of those 4 guys getting up the field. It looked, boy, that was it got deflected back. Demetrius Williams knows darn well to go recover it. If it is a lateral, it's a live ball.
So they're calling an incomplete pass. It is 2nd down 10 from the 26-yard line.
And if you're Oregon right here, Bob, you got to get some first downs. You got to get some movement, get some offense generating, keep the ball out of Andrew Walter's hands.
Clemens can't find anybody. He's going to have to run. He gets back maybe a yard past the line of scrimmage before Caldwell gets him. He was looking over here on the near side for Demetrius Williams or for Terrence Whitehead. He checked back to the left, saw nothing, and just kept it. By the way, he's 8 of 15 tonight for 93 yards is Kellen Clemens. This young man has his head on straight. I loved his enthusiasm. He said, what do you think about playing at night here at Oregon? He says, oh, it's so great. He says, matter of fact, I'm getting goosebumps right now. We talked to him yesterday. 3rd down 9. Clemens going long down the left sideline. The receiver is out of bounds. Demetrius Williams, penalty markers come down. Was he pushed and forced out of bounds?
It looks like he was ridden out of bounds by Chris McKenzie the whole way. Again, you see Andy Ludwig, the offensive coordinator. Clemens is smart. He's over there talking to his coach.
Yeah, that's pass interference going to be called against.
Pass interference on the defense, number 8. 15-yard penalty, previous spot, automatic first down.
Not the highest percentage throw to go down the sideline against their top cover guy, but you see McKenzie just riding him, putting an arm in his chest the whole way down, and the receiver has a little more room. You got to give him a little more room than that.
The receivers on this team don't have a lot of receptions comparatively. Only 11 catches for Demetrius Williams. Tim Day had only 7, and Maxwell 6, the leading receiver, is 44. Rosario, their fullback, on the first down 10. Here's the cut to the outside by Whitehead. He gets close to the first down. Dale Robinson chases him out of bounds inside Sun Devil territory.
It's nice action again by Oregon. They fake one way, and it's almost like a small counter, Bob. They're show and run this way, and then they cut back, come back the other way. Ricardo Stewart, one of the best tacklers on the team, just flat out misses Whitehead in the flat. Whitehead again getting a lot of carries. I expect to see Kenny Washington too.
Yeah, Whitehead has 9 carries for 44 yards. He's the leading ground gainer on this club. He averages 5.7 carries, so he's been having a good year. He just hasn't had that many carries. First down 10 from the 47 now. And he's going to try it again with Whitehead. Makes a cut back inside. Whitehead about 7 inside the 40-yard line before Burks and Williams can get him. Penalty marker down.
Whitehead's long run this year, only 22 yards, so he doesn't give you a breakaway threat. Personal foul that time. They got Nick Stites for a late hit after the whistle blew. The big left guard going after one of the Sun Devils.
Yeah, Stites.
After the play, personal foul on the offense, number 74. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. The down counts. The down will be 2.
Nick Stites, watch him up at the top of the screen. He'll come flying in, big 74. Whoops, he nailed Caldwell.
Hey, he had Mr. Mogo, and he couldn't hold that back, 315 pounds. How could he be expected?
Kellen Clemens said, you know, Nick Stites never has a bad day. He's one of those guys, every day's a good day. He didn't put a good day on Kyle Caldwell.
He's the big prankster on the team, too. And what are you going to do if he pulls a prank on you? What are you going to do? Take him on? 6'4", 315? You just say, thank you, sir, may I have another. Here's Clemens. He is back to the line of scrimmage. Broke the tackle. He's going for the first down. And he gets it on the far side near the 35-yard line before Josh Golden knocked him out of bounds. That brought this crowd to life.
And I think the guy that threw the block was Dante Rosario. Bob, it looked like when Clemens was scrambling, Rosario, the fullback, made a nice play. Watch. And it's going to be fullback right here. Nice block. And Clemens racing for the first down marker. Boy, that's a big lift with the Oregon offense.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that may be his longest career run. He was averaging 2.4 yards on 25 carries, most of those just running out of trouble. Washington in the backfield now, first down 10. Oregon trailing 7-3. They're going to give it to Washington. He gets it outside. And inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Chris McKenzie come up to make the play for Arizona State. Our first and 10 line is brought to you by Home Depot. And as you see, it is just inside the 25-yard line. The distance to make for the Oregon Ducks, trailing 7-3. We have 8:06 to go in the first half. Along with Craig Sager, Tom Ramsey, Bob Neal with you from Eugene, Oregon. Tom Ramsey, always known to me as the quarterback who beat Michigan in 1983, 24-14. Not that I remember the game or anything.
No, you recited every play to me this week.
It's like a flashback from a trauma. Second down 5. Here's a delay handoff. It goes to Kenny Washington. And he gets out about 7 or 8 yards. Another penalty. Another penalty marker is down.
And I think it was a busted play. I don't know if either Washington didn't get a handoff or they were trying to get him one of the little flip plays that Oregon runs so well.
And that penalty is going to be against Arizona State, nullifying whatever that was that happened.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense, number 95. Penalties enforced half the distance to the goal.
Wow.
Automatic first down.
Gabe Reininger, defensive right tackle. Watch him, he's 95.
Wow, Reininger. Oh, yeah, he grabbed a lot of that face mask there.
Yeah, it was a broken play,
yeah,
clearly.
Reininger has been playing well, too. Right there, you see Dirk Cutter. Mistakes hurt you all the time. Penalties, stay away from them. Especially a veteran player like Reininger, a senior.
First down 10 from the 13. Whitehead and Rosario are in the backfield. Not much on that, maybe a yard from Terrence Whitehead. Justin Burks stepped up to make the play for the Ducks.
And this is where this Sun Devil defense gets stingy. They are tough inside the 20 in the red zone. They just haven't allowed teams to get in the end zone. And they've made a lot of plays down here, too. They pick people off. They force fumbles. Arizona State from last year to this year, a huge difference. Look, giving up 150 yards on the ground, only 89.8 now. Passing yards allowed. Most importantly, the points. They don't give them up.
Second down, 8 from the 11. Burks from Arizona State made that last play for the Sun Devils. They hand it off to Whitehead. Whitehead tries to stretch it, and the Sun Devil defense pursues well and keeps him outside the 10-yard line. 6:23 to go in the second quarter from Autzen Stadium. Justin Burks once again makes the play.
Brent Guy, defensive coordinator for Arizona State. You know, last year, Bob, they played a 4-2-5 the last 2 years, and this year they went to a base 4-3. They were asking their safeties to become linebackers. It didn't work. So they added a third linebacker and said, go get them. So they really stacked the box now with 7-8 guys and let those safeties come up and make plays on the run when they need to.
This is 3rd and 7 from the 10-yard line. The play fake and Caldwell comes in hard from the left side, and Clemens, after his fake, spins around, and all of a sudden it's hello.
Yeah, who's at the front door? Kyle Caldwell. Little fake. They tried to run Waggle out the other side, and Caldwell not to be fooled. That's just a great, that's knowing the play ahead of time. That's a great pattern read. Great anticipation by Caldwell.
That'll bring up 4th down. And Jared Siegel will come on the field. Let's see precisely where they spot that ball. It'll be at the 12-yard line, so it'll be a 29-yard attempt.
They just stuff you in the red zone. They just turn up the volume on you when you get down there.
They're allowing only 25% conversions on 3rd down, and their red zone defense is about equally good. 34-yard field goal after they set it down by Jared Siegel, and he hits it. He's got 2 tonight, and we have a 7-6 Arizona State game. Jared Siegel from 22, and then from 34. 5:25 in the first half.
They say the clothes make the man. This October, discover what happens when the clothes make the man a woman. In the spirit of Tootsie and Mrs. Doubtfire comes a very funny new reality series where real guys compete to see who's the most ladylike. They'll work, do their hair, and experience life as real gals. If they're man enough to handle it. He's a Lady, a new reality series coming October 19th on TBS.
Where does reality end and pure vision begin? It all starts with a Pioneer plasma display. The purest color, the purest experience. Pure vision. Only from Pioneer.
People everywhere are experiencing a breakthrough.
I'm full!
Taco Bell's new Big Bell Value Menu, featuring the spicy chicken burrito with shredded chicken simmered in authentic Mexican spices. To keep your stomach and your wallet full, think outside the bun.
You've waited, you've dreamed, and now it's finally back. Endless Shrimp at Red Lobster, the only time of year to enjoy all the shrimp you can eat. Don't miss Endless Shrimp right now, only at Red Lobster.
Our next telecast will be next Saturday at 7 Eastern Time as the Texas Tech Red Raiders host the Nebraska Cornhuskers here on TBS. Burgess and Golden back deep to receive for the Sun Devils as Jared Siegel will kick it off. There's Jared, number 25. He was only 1 of 3 for field goals coming into this game, and he's got 2 here tonight. Nearly a mix-up. Golden takes it. Across the 20, look out down the sideline. Golden inside the 50 and can get no further. Knocked out of bounds at the 41-yard line by Aaron Gibson. And once again, Oregon giving up a lot of ground on the kickoff returns. They are 10th last in the Pac-10 in yards allowed on kickoff returns.
Boy, remember the special teams coach for Arizona State is Tom Osborne, who used to be a stellar coach for the Oregon Ducks. right there. That's taking full advantage of that opportunity. Golden just racing up the sidelines.
56 yards. Man, it's 1st and 10 from the 40. Hakeem Hill in the backfield. He'll get it. Tries the middle. For not much. Powerful lunge. And now it's time once again to spend a moment with Craig Sager. Craig.
Although Oregon got a field goal in that last possession, Andy Ludwig has huddled the offense over here to the sidelines. This was one case where the noise in this stadium worked against Oregon. He was yelling desperately for Kellen Clemens to call a timeout. He recognized the defensive adjustment that Arizona State had made, trying to get Clemens to call a timeout. Clemens could not hear him, did not call the play that he wanted to put in there.
So that's being stuck by your own sword here with his own home crowd because it's so noisy. 2nd down 9 from the 39. Walter, right side. It goes incomplete, intended for Richardson.
That's when they need those microphones in the helmets. See, there you have it. Remember Andy Ludwig, he also coached David Carr at Fresno State, the great quarterback with the Houston Texans now.
Spent some time with him yesterday. Once again, a gentleman, but you know, you can always tell the intensities of college football coaches. Even if they're pleasant, you look in their eyes. They got that look.
Like they've watched too much film.
Oh, yeah, maybe. I noticed you have it, so I know you've seen a lot of film. What's up? There you go. See it? So, 3rd down 9 from the 39. Walter goes across the middle. He missed his man. This has been nearly an automatic connection between Andrew Walter and Derek Hagan, and it has not been automatic or very productive tonight. He has no catches, Hagan.
No, and Hagan has been so productive, as you said, Bob. He came in having 3 100-yard games to his credit, receiving this year already. He was held in check last week against Oregon State, only 66 yards, but he is a tremendous receiver. He was open that time. Walter just flat out missed him.
And McDonald's going to have to punt it away after that 56-yard kickoff return. Justin Fennessy is back. He's going to let it go. It comes out of bounds over here. They'll walk it down, and it looks like it's going to be marked at the 5-yard line. An effective punt, and that's where the ball is marked out of bounds by Chris McDonald. So Oregon's going to have to start on their own 5-yard line, trailing 7-6, 4:22 to go in the first period. Beautiful evening here, by the way. Eugene, Oregon. The temperature at game time was 73, down to about 68 right now. That was only a 34-yard punt, by the way, but it did get out of bounds on the 5-yard line. This telecast is a copyrighted presentation of the University of Oregon, a member of the Pac-10 Conference. It may not be reproduced, retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the University of Oregon or the Pac-10 Conference. 1st and 10 from the 5. They'll run it up the right side. That's Terrence Whitehead. He's hit right at the 5-yard line.
And just nothing going that time. Again, the defensive line and linebackers of Arizona State. And Bob, this is what is so dangerous about Arizona State. They lead the conference in turnovers, one of the tops in the country in turnover margin. They're plus 10 on the year. They're ahead of Southern Cal. And Southern Cal, you got to remember, they got 8 guys deep in their defensive line, the #1 ranked team in the country. In Arizona State right now, you can't make a mistake down here in your own territory. It spells trouble.
On the 2nd down, headed out across the 10-yard line with Whitehead once again. Terrence is getting a load of carries here tonight. Whitehead, that was his 15th carry.
Yeah, the linebackers. Watch the linebackers again of Arizona State. They get a lot of help. Reininger again, standing people up, the offensive lineman. Jimmy Verdon, Jordan Hill, #1. Jordan Hill's a converted linebacker. He was a linebacker. Now he's 280 pounds playing the defensive line.
By the way, we want to thank Allstate for providing tonight's goal post cam, the vision you just saw. You're in good hands with Allstate. Whitehead now 14 carries, 62 yards. He's been the workhorse. Quick pass over the middle, nobody home. Incomplete, intended for Rosario.
And that was the dangerous throw. Almost picked off, I tell you.
Rosario, the leading receiver for Oregon, with 13 catches coming into the game, has had only 1 catch so far tonight. And now, once again, the defense stands up just as Oregon State's did. The Sun Devils stop them, and we're going to get a punt out of the end zone from David Dittman. Burgess at midfield to take the punt for the Sun Devils. He steps all the way up to the 45-yard line, does Burgess. And he struggles to the 40 before he goes down. Play made there by Ryan Lofton. 2:45 to go in the first half, 7-6 ASU. And here's that defense we're talking about.
Well, and Arizona State's defense, they're led by the front four, but those linebackers, Robinson, Burks, Jamar Williams, doing on almost every play, Bob. Just so good at the point of attack and racing to the football, keeping their eyes on the ball carrier.
And tonight, a good game from Kyle Caldwell, the left end. He's 6'3", 250, and he moves. He has quickness.
Just what Mike Bellotti didn't want to see. Andrew Walter sitting on his 39-yard line.
Walter's play fake. He's going to take it over to the right side. It is incomplete. That pass intended for Zach Miller, the freshman.
True freshman out of Phoenix, Zach Miller, Desert Vista High. And it has been such a surprise, really not so much a surprise, just really a nice find for Dirk Cutter in the offense. Able to play tight end and H-back.
Yeah, and his brother, Brent, on the football team too. Brent wears 87.
Roughing the passer on the defense. Number 99 is late on the quarterback and smacked him with his helmet. 15-yard penalty, previous spot, automatic first down.
Wow, senior left tackle, 99 Robbie Valenzuela.
Oh, that. Whoa. Who's hitting who? What happened?
Even if you're a quarterback, Tom, right? That wasn't much of a hit.
That wasn't a hit. That was not a hit.
That's what Robbie's saying right now. What happened?
Oh, what happened?
And it's a big penalty. It's now first down 10 from the 24. First and 10 from the 24-yard line. Clemens coming down to the near sideline, incomplete down at the goal line, intended for Richardson.
Yeah, Walter, nice coverage that time. J.D. Nelson finding Richardson, and nice protection. Arizona State's offensive line's really doing a nice job too. Walter has not been sacked the last 2 games they've played, and he's had quite a lot of time back here, throwing for about 54% on the year, over 1,000 yards. This is where he's dangerous. So red zone territory, he's a great spot thrower, so he can get it into the little tiny places he needs to. Hagan, his receiver up top.
Tonight only 2 of 10, as you see. Second down 10 from the 24. He's going to take it upstairs again. And this time he hits for the touchdown. That is Terry Richardson. Just as we're talking about him being, well, you set up how good he had been. I said that he was not very good tonight. And bang, here's the touchdown.
And he really provides a deep threat. That time he runs a corner route, Bob, and again, play action. They freeze the linebackers underneath, and then Walter all day to throw. See, he beats Marcus Benz out there right at the flag. Nice throw, nice catch that time by the Sun Devils.
24-yard touchdown pass. It's now 13-6 Sun Devils. And make it 14 as Ainsworth boots it through with 2:27 to go in the first half.
So watch him. He'll come down, run a little corner out to the flag. They have a nice play action right here. Gets great protection. Walter, they fake a little dive. He comes back out, little shake to the corner. Nice throw. Man, Andrew Walter's stock just keeps going higher and higher.
Richardson has his now 3rd touchdown catch. Andrew Walter, he's of course a senior. He's 6'5", 235 from Grand Junction, Colorado. He's something.
Well, on the year, 14 touchdowns, 1 interception. Senior quarterback, actually graduated senior quarterback.
That's right, he's in grad school.
And, you know, I tell you, one of the big things about him coming back, you know, he could have gone pro last year. And Dirk Cutter said, you know what? He stayed. He wanted to commit to the team. Arizona State really has circled their wagons. And leadership. I was talking to Gene Smith, their athletic director, before the game, and so impressed. We've heard it from Dirk Cutter. We heard it from Gene Smith. We heard it from the players. Leadership, development amongst all their teammates, amongst their team, their inner core. most important thing, and right guy at the front, Andrew Walter.
Ainsworth kickoff. It comes down near side to Kenny Washington. Washington has a seam which flows pretty quickly. He gets out nevertheless to the 35-yard line, and let's spend a moment with Ernie Johnson.
And with John Mackovic, because the Chili's halftime report is coming up a couple of minutes from now, and we're going to have the story of teams trying to stay unbeaten and not succeeding, especially a team like Tennessee, which in front of 104,000 people in its own ballpark, thrashed by Auburn. How'd that happen?
Well, they did it the old-fashioned way, Ernie, but we'll talk about it at halftime.
Oh, he's holding back on us. Stay tuned, won't you, Bob?
The old-fashioned way sounds like getting taken behind the woodshed. That's what the old-fashioned way sounds like.
Here's Clemens under pressure. He tried to throw it. Valley was in the grass. The penalty marker comes down. Kyle Caldwell was right back there in his face. Clemens tried to get rid of it.
Boy, this is what Arizona State's defense, they're just tenacious. Grounding. They're going to call it grounding. Yeah. Boy, oh boy. Oh, yeah, Kellen Clemens is hot. He should be.
Intentional grounding on the offense, number 11. Penalty results in a loss of down. It's a spotted foul. Down will be 2.
Well, let's have Judge Tom Ramsey look at the appeal.
Well, he's in the grass right here. He does watch his arm come forward. He throws it. But I tell you what, oh, you know what happened? It hit the lineman's foot. Watch this, Bob. And if you hit your lineman, he hit Ian Reynosa, the right guard. And the ball can't touch a lineman. And that's where they got him.
2nd and 16 now, back to the 29-yard line. Arizona State 14. Oregon 6. Punt fake, and now this time back on him is number 1, Jordan Hill, and the ball popped out after the play was blown dead.
Doesn't it look like Arizona State just flipped the switch? And all of a sudden, they got meaner, tougher, and faster than how they started the game. Jordan Hill, number 1, the converted linebacker, defensive lineman, comes in, great play. Boy, he jumped up in the air and nullified Clemens throwing the ball down the field, and then he just stuffed him.
Well, down on the field, there's Jordan Hill. Down on the field right now is number 79, Robin Knievel, the right tackle for the Oregon Ducks. They're attending to him down there about the 21-yard line. That was a loss, by the way, of 10 yards on that play, and our clock is down to 2:05 to go in the first half. And how about this? It will be 3rd and 27. You know, I was looking at these Arizona State numbers, and even though we've looked at a lot of video of them, it's difficult to tell sometimes just looking at video how legitimate the defense is only 4 games in. Like last week, they held Oregon State to negative rushing yardage. They're only allowing 12.8 points, only 89 yards rushing a game, 25% third down conversions, and they are tough, particularly inside the red zone. I mean, it's about everything that you can look at defensively they stand out in. They had 7 interceptions coming in here and 13 sacks.
And you know what? They're not. Brent Guy right there in the middle. Brent Guy is right there. They're a quiet, confident group. They're not braggadocio on the field. They have circled the wagons.
The cart is being brought on the field here for Robbie Knievel, who went down, the offensive right tackle.
Knievel can play all those positions. Oh,
here it comes.
Ian Reynosa and the other lineman. Oh, he got rolled up on from behind. Ouch.
Now they're taking him off. We have 2:05 to go in the first half. We'll give you an updated report on the situation with the left leg of Robin Knievel.
The other thing with Arizona State, Bob, you know, when you play great defense, you're able to hold opponents to lesser yards and lesser points. They've gotten out fast on people in the first half. They've scored a lot of points, 85 on the year to 20 for the opponents, and I tell you, it's tough. They're going halftime behind.
On the 3rd down and very long, Whitehead Gets it out to the 15. Tackle made by Justin Burks. That's 7 tackles by the Arizona State middle linebacker tonight.
But both these programs, having the great coaching staffs they do and the great head coaches, I tell you, this is where you make your adjustments at halftime. Oregon, not out of it at all. They got to keep running the ball. They got to establish some continuity and move the chains. You want the chain gang running out of breath.
Number 3 is Rudy Burgess. Back to his own 40. Here's the Pittman. Boy, does he hammer it. Oregon jumped in there. That was Sam Hughes.
Might have rolled another 10 yards.
Easy. The crowd, you could hear this knowledgeable crowd here go, ooh. So Sam was on the spot, but well, let him take a few yards off the average. That's all he could say. We have 1:20 to go now in the first half.
Andrew Walter came in. 67 touchdowns. Next thing you know, he's lighting up the scoreboard again. Jamal Lewis, big H-back tight end, and then he finds Gary Richardson breaking through the corner. Just continue his ascension and all those Pac-10 and ASU marks. On the first down 10, they give it to Hakeem Hill, who gets it to the 20, and Robbie goes there. Robbie Valenzuela makes the stop for Oregon. By the way, that was a 57-yard punt off the foot of Dittman, and his longest of the year previously was 54 yards. You know, I was wondering, I didn't know how good Arizona State was. Watching them on film, I knew they were fast, I knew they were quick, I knew they could score points, Bob. Beating Northwestern at Northwestern, didn't know how good Northwestern was. They're good. Beating Ohio State, they're good.
That's good. And as a matter of fact, Iowa,
facing a good Iowa team, they held Iowa to under 100 yards of total offense, and Iowa's only touchdown came on a score on a punt return on the last play of the game.
Then Iowa won today, I might point out. Yep. Here is Hakeem Hill. They were trying to rip that ball out. Robbie Valenzuela, he was the first man to meet him there. Hakeem Hill once again playing with that brace on his right arm. He did hold on to the ball, but he lost a couple. Lost more than that, probably about 4 yards. Let's see. The brace is on his right arm. You see it over there. It's somewhere between a brace and a soft cast. And that's going to be the end of the first half. That concludes the first half of college football on TBS, a part of Big PlayStation Saturday. After this break, we will send you to Ernie Johnson and John Makovic in Atlanta for the Chili's halftime report.
Conditions were calm and sunny today, and fate especially shined down upon Drivin' Misteva, who beat out an array of ringers and duffers. Hutmeister, gladiator of the links, held the title for 3 straight online tournaments. But now, a new captain embarks upon her voyage, and we say, smooth sailing, sweetheart. Hot Shots Golf 4, rated E for everyone.
PlayStation 2, now just $149.
Do you want to get out of this town?
Yes.
Well, why aren't you doing something about it?
Friday Night Lights has been called one of the greatest sports stories ever told.
I'm gonna knock him out, and I'm gonna smile when I do.
Now, it's one of the greatest sports movies ever made.
It's time.
Run, 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 run! Show them who we are. It's our team. Let's go right now. Let's do it.
Friday Night Lights, rated PG-13, at theaters Friday.
Get some runs now. Get him, slugger.
Hey, I know that guy.
That's Miles. He can't bat for you. He works for Office Depot.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. He absolutely works for us. Office Depot set up our entire office. Computers, desks, chairs, right down to the chair mats. Technically, yeah, he works for Office Depot. But they're a huge part of our company. Do a lot more than Hanson.
And he's got a bat for us, too.
No way, why?
Where do you think we got our computers?
Office Depot. Everything your business needs to win at everyday low prices.
Wow, that is clear.
With surround sound, this HD TV would be perfect for your party.
Yeah. Hey, you should come.
4th and 23. Williams rolls out, throws up a prayer. No!
Oh, yeah! Yeah! That guy's on my fantasy football team.
You know, you should think about TiVo. You can record the game and celebrate later.
Watch TV better at Best Buy. Thousands of possibilities. Get yours.
A tradition of courage, a tradition of character, a tradition of champions. Year after year, the student athletes of the Pacific 10 Conference display excellence, not only in the arena of competition, they go on to excel in the arena of life. 10 distinguished institutions with opportunities for higher learning as vast as the Pacific itself. Be a part of a great tradition, the Pacific 10 Conference, the Conference of Champions.
Arizona State trying to go 5-0 and leading at the break over Oregon on the road at Eugene 14-6. Welcome to Atlanta's Studio A for the Chili's halftime report. Ernie Johnson and our guest for this doubleheader Saturday, Coach John Mackovic. We knew going into this game, Coach, that everybody's watching Andrew Walter to see what he can do. Strong arm kid and has been so far this year. What jumped out at you in the first time?
Arizona State lives with the big pass, the long pass, and I'm sure Oregon said no big plays. Well, he's thrown 2 touchdown passes, but they haven't been real long ones, and that's the key. He's been very patient to be able to stay there, get into field position, and then 25, 35 yards out, little roll right, throw back left.
Last year it was 59-14 Arizona State. Much more competitive this time around as Oregon tries to snap Arizona State's winning streak. Next week here on TBS, by the way, Nebraska taking on Texas Tech. And you'll see that at 7 o'clock Eastern right here on TBS. What did Texas Tech do today? Yes. Well, they were playing at Oklahoma, and here's Mark Clayton. What is exactly a slobber knocker?
Well, the slobber knocker, if you saw that's when the first thing to hit is the back of your helmet and shoulder pads. And believe me, that was the first thing to hit.
Yeah, that was Chad Johnson on the receiving end as Adrian Peterson's run set up an early touchdown. Jason White, 3 touchdown passes on the day. That one to Travis Wilson for a 14-3 Oklahoma lead. And Sonny Cumbie never could get it on track for Texas Tech, unable to get him into the end zone through the air. And it's Oklahoma going to 4-0 as they win it 28-13. Now next week Oklahoma takes on Texas in that rivalry.
These were good warm-up games for both of these teams. Texas had it a little easier. Vince Young, of course, had a terrific day passing and running like he usually does, and Cedric Benson just continues to march toward some new Texas records.
Yeah, he was number 2 in the nation coming in, had 188 yards today, and they get ready for the Red River Shootout on the wings of a 44-14 win over Baylor. In the SEC, LSU in Georgia, and get used to seeing that because David Green was on target. That one to Reggie Brown, and this time he's got Fred Gibson in his sights.
What a difference a year makes. David Green last year suffered just humility, to say the least, against LSU. 2 games, but he made up for it today. Yep. 5 touchdown passes in only 10 completions.
You got to like that ratio. This one to Sean Bailey. That was the 5th of the game. Georgia rolls 45-16. We get more from Mark Fine.
Joined now by Georgia coach Mark Richt. And Coach, talk about your offense coming into this game was mostly about frustration. You really got it going today. Was there any thought that you'd be able to score 45 points on a team this good?
No, I didn't think it would happen. I mean, there had to be some turnovers, which there were, and I knew our skill guys would have to make some plays, but I didn't think they'd make that many. And really, I had I really would not have dreamed us to run the ball that well against LSU's defense.
What was different for you guys this week?
Well, I just think that we made the plays early. We got momentum. Guys got excited. And even though we lost it in the second quarter a little bit, they were able to regroup and get it going again.
A little more enjoyable hearing that bell ring with LSU walking off the field?
Well, yeah. I mean, it doesn't really matter who. We're just so thankful to get the victory. And it's tough to get your tail whipped a couple times by the same team. And 3 in a row would have been tough.
All right, great game. Good luck next week.
Thank you.
All right, Ernie, back to you.
A couple of guys named Mark, both using the same gel. And LSU, you talk about their defense, number 10 in the country, allowing just 77 yards a game. And today, Georgia goes for 221, 107 of that from the freshman Danny Ware, as Georgia, after losing twice to LSU last year, rebounds between the hedges to win their 17th straight in Athens. Next week, Georgia taking on Tennessee. When we come back, we'll show you a rocky night on Rocky Top for the Vols at the hands of the Tigers.
You're watching the Chili's Halftime Report. Chili's, come on, live a little.
I put a spell on you. Because you're mine. I put a spell on you. What? Because you're mine.
I am a soldier. An army of one. Even though I am part of the strongest army in the world, I am my own force. With the latest technology, training, and support, who I am has become better than who I was. And I'll be the first to tell you, the might of the U.S. Army doesn't lie in numbers. It lies in soldiers like me. Specialist Mark DeCarli. I am an army of one, and you can see my strength.
At Aim Low, we know renting a car can be stressful. So we've come up with a solution. A free stress ball. Perfect for waiting in line, getting lost on the road, or when you can't find the car you want. We'd like to offer you more, but who do you think we are? Hertz?
Hertz offers both #1 Club Express and Neverlast, plus a wide variety of cars. No stress balls. It's your trip. Rent wisely.
Whoever said the world was small never saw it in high def. Now, the IMAX movie experience comes home on InHD. The best in high-definition entertainment. Exclusively on InHD, only on cable.
I never thought about it. I always thought cancer happened to other people. I was in total denial that I had lymphoma. That was years ago. Ashland Bellefonte Cancer Center helped me get my life back. I'm young, and there's so much more that I want to do. Thank you, Ashland Bellefonte Cancer Center, for the hope and the support that I needed.
Ashland Bellefonte Cancer Center, the most comprehensive cancer treatment in the area.
Welcome back to the Chili's Halftime Report. This happening moments ago. Ohio State's Justin Zwick gets picked off by Jeff Backus of Northwestern. The Wildcats nursing a 7-point lead with under 4 minutes to go in the game, trying to hand Ohio State its first loss. West Virginia came into its game with Virginia Tech with a 4-0 record today, but look what happened late in the half. Frank Beamer's special teams.
Block, kick, we can't even count them all. This has gigantic implications for the BCS because West Virginia, many thought, would roll on through the Big East.
Yeah, you talk about running the table, and Rashid Marshall goes 46 yards here to cut the gap. It's 19-13, but Marshall will be picked off by Vincent Fuller, the same guy who returned that blocked field goal. And how about that, Virginia Tech?
Probably a broken route by the receiver there, but it's too little, too late.
19-13 the final. Meantime, tonight, Neyland Stadium in Knoxville. That's Auburn's Ronnie Brown right up the gut. He had 57 yards rushing, 78 receiving. Huge mistake here by Eric Ainge, the freshman of Tennessee.
You have a tall, skinny freshman quarterback. I don't think he's the guy to run the quarterback sneak in a situation like that. Auburn capitalized immediately. This turned the game around for them.
Yeah, that was Jason Campbell to Ben Obamanu, and that made it 14-3. And what a night for Junior Rosegreen. 4 interceptions. But Eric Ainge, the freshman, threw 4 interceptions, had that fumble. And Auburn all over Tennessee, 34-10. Did you see this coming at Neyland Stadium? No. 104,000 folks there and unbeaten teams. What happened to Tennessee?
You know, there was not a lot of passing, and there was not really a lot of yards gained rushing. Like I say, it's the old-fashioned way. Boy, did they hit each other. And when Auburn had a chance to really stuff it, you see that touchdown by Ronnie Brown? He ran over a defender for Tennessee. That is the kind of football game you have to play. What a difference a year has made for Tommy Tuberville, huh? Between the president, the athletic director, and the coach, they kept the right guy, believe me.
and having guys in the backfield like Brown and Cadillac Williams. Cadillac going for 94 today as Auburn stomps Tennessee in Knoxville. 34-10. Back with more here on the Chili's Halftime Report in just a second.
Are you searching for the great fajita? Chili's sizzling steak and portobello mushroom fajitas. Tender, juicy grilled steak topped with grilled marinated portobello mushrooms and then served with warm flour tortillas and a chimichurri sauce you can drizzle on for even more flavor. Chili's steak and portobello mushroom fajitas. Want more flavor in your life?
Welcome to Chili's.
Where does reality end and pure vision begin? It all starts with a Pioneer plasma display. The purest color, the purest experience. Pure vision. Only from Pioneer.
Hanging out with my good friend. Days like these should never end.
Yeah, come on, let's get out of here. When the quality of your beer matches the quality of your friends,
Good morning.
it's easy to lose track of time. Sam Adams Light, the taste of good times.
Hey, Angie, you going to the post office? Hey, Ted, you going to the post office?
Do I know you?
Anyone go to the post office? Jeff.
Ronnie?
Connie. Isn't anyone going to the post office?
Hey, Chuck. Can't go to the post office? Go to USPS.com. Print the shipping label.
What about postage?
You can pay for postage, too, then hand the package to B.
The U.S. Postal Service is working for you.
Hey, Steve. Lunch?
Hampton has this great complimentary hot breakfast with a rotating menu. Lots of delicious stuff like sausage, muffins, Danish, biscuits, egg patties, French toast sticks, and more. Huh. Caution. Hot. They even have a complimentary on-the-go breakfast bag. It is complimentary, right?
Yes.
I can just take it?
Yes.
Welcome back to the Chili's Halftime Report. Fresno State took its 3-0 record and number 17 ranking to Louisiana Tech tonight and ran into Ryan Moats, number 5 rusher in the country. Goes for 236 and 4 touchdowns. And those Bulldogs upset the Fresno State Bulldogs, and bedlam ensues.
Yeah, the goalpost comes down, and I'll tell you, even the freshmen can get a date tonight.
It was,
well, they'll be rocking and rolling.
It was that impressive a victory for Louisiana Tech. So a BCS buster, and Fresno State goes down right then. Anybody else out there you think might be able to fit that bill?
Utah stayed alive, Boise State, Louisville. Right now, I would say Louisville. They play a little stronger caliber of teams throughout the schedule.
59-7 winners today over East Carolina, with Eric Shelton scoring 5 touchdowns. Second half is on the way from Eugene.
PlayStation 2, now just $149.
The Kia Sedona with a 5-star safety rating. More safety features, more sanity. Welcome to more. The Kia Sedona. Introducing the totally redesigned Kia Spectra, starting around $13,000. More value, more obsession. Welcome to more. The Kia Spectra.
It's a silverback. You can see the silver right on the back. Oh, great. He's making a call. He's making a peak hour call!
Just hope you're not roaming.
Too many restrictions on your wireless plan?
You want some of this, monkey boy?
Come to T-Mobile and talk whenever, nationwide.
Whenever.
T-Mobile gives you the most whenever minutes. 1,000 for just $39.99.
T-Mobile, get more.
Maybe I didn't treat you quite as good as I should have. If I made you feel second best, girl, I'm sorry I was blind, but you were always on my mind. You were always on my mind.
The Rose Bowl. New Year's Day, 100,000 fans will pack this place. Impressive number. Allstate has their own impressive number, 1 million. That's about how many drivers switched to Allstate last year. Enough to fill 10 Rose Bowls. Why? Many of them saved an average of $278 a year. Now that calls for a parade. Championship insurance for less. That's Allstate, Stan. Are you in good hands?
Well, look what Ohio State just did to Northwestern with a shade over 2 minutes to play. Justin Zwick to Santonio Holmes. Game tied at 27 with a couple of minutes to play.
Show them.
I promise we'll update that game for you if you promise to keep watching.
Reverberating with a mighty cheer.
You're watching the Chili's Halftime Report. Chili's, come on, live a little.
Wow, that is clear. With surround sound, this HD TV would be perfect for your party.
Yeah. Hey, you should come.
4th and 23. Williams rolls out, throws up a prayer. No!
Oh, yeah! Yeah! That guy's on my fantasy football team.
You know, you should think about TiVo. You can record the game and celebrate later.
Watch TV better at Best Buy. Thousands of possibilities. Get yours. The following is an urgent message for all inventors. Who cashed in on your last great idea? Do you have another invention? Do you need a patent? Then you need InventTech.
Everyone laughed at my pot that cooked and drained pasta. If I had the patent, I'd be rich.
Snap your fingers, turn on a light. That was my idea, but I never thought to get a patent.
Don't let this happen to you. You may have a great idea, but unless you protect it, anyone can take it and keep the profits. That's why you need to call InventTech now. We'll send you a free inventor's kit, and you'll receive our free video or DVD with your confidential submission. Call 1-800-395-9889.
Cleaning with citrus was my little secret. I never patented it. Boy, was that dumb.
Don't let someone else cash in on your great idea. Call InventTech now for a free inventor's kit and get our free video or DVD with your confidential submission. Call 1-800-395-9889.
Welcome back to college football on TBS, part of Big PlayStation Saturday. As we get set to start the third quarter, the score is Sun Devils 14 and the Oregon Ducks 6. Here's a real telling stat in that first half. Only 3 completions from Andrew Walter, 2 for touchdowns. Not bad.
Pretty amazing. Yeah. I tell you, the most amazing statistic so far in the first half, Arizona State coming in with the big guns, not even over 100 yards total offense. And Oregon has done their job of controlling the clock almost 2-1. 19 minutes to 10 minutes. It's amazing, but Arizona State's defense, Bob, has been the name of the game in the first half. They've been all over the place, all over Kellen Clemens, Kyle Caldwell with a big hit coming off the defensive end, and then Dale Robinson, number 44, tracking down Terrence Whitehead, and then they just swarmed to the football. But I thought what changed the game in the first half, Josh Golden gets his kickoff return, and they change field position advantage Arizona State. Walter, touchdown to Richardson, and it shows you how quick they can strike.
Yeah, Tom, and here are those stats that you're talking about. No turnovers from either team, but that time of possession is really, really unusual. 19-16 to 10-44, yet Arizona State leads at 14-6, and we're about ready to start this second half, and here is Jared Siegel's kickoff. Golden and Burgess are back. It's going down to Rudy Burgess, number 3. Out across the 20, spinning, flags are down. And now Burgess is down out to the 37-yard line. So ready for the second half here from Autzen Stadium in Eugene, Oregon. What a beautiful night. Temperature down the upper 60s, about 67, 68 degrees, calm wind, and some beautiful weather out here with the exception of about 150 miles north. There are some clouds in the skies over Mount St. Helens. It erupted yet again. And before we get the details on this penalty, let's go quickly to Craig Sager. Craig.
Well, Tom mentioned he thought Oregon had done their job. That's the way Mike Bellotti feels as well. He said we played too good of a game to be down 14-6. Defensively, he thought they played a great game, but they made it too easy for Arizona State to score in those 2 plays. Offensively, he said we moved the ball, moved the chains, but we didn't finish down in the end zone. Didn't come up with touchdowns, just 2 field goals. As for Dirk Cutter, he said they were in a bad thing at the beginning with all the penalties. He said suddenly he felt that the team settled down and, as Tom mentioned, moved it up a notch and was able to play their game. He feels, even though it's a close game, that his team is playing well and in charge right now.
All right, Craig, thank you. That was a holding call on the return. So it goes back to the 14-yard line. First down 10 for the Sun Devils, leading at 14-6. Here is Hakeem Hill. Not much.
Boy, if I was Arizona State right now, even though I was backed up in my own territory, I think I'd come out throwing. They've run the ball on first down repeatedly, and Nick Aliotti has the defense dialed in. He'll sell out to stop the run, put him in a second and long situation. Now they have to throw the ball, and now Oregon can experiment with some different coverages.
Yeah, ASU with negative 2 yards net rushing. That, of course, includes the turnabout sacks and losses of yardage. Then it's second down 9 now. There's the play fake. Walter goes over to the far sideline, and that is, we don't know if it's a catch yet. We'll find out in a moment.
I thought he trapped it from our vantage point, but we're also 3 miles up in the air here.
Yes, we are. Was Derek Hagan the intended receiver, and they are saying he did catch it.
Here's that little waggle play action pass. Walter, boy, that's a nice catch by Derek Hagan. And a veteran receiver at that, Bob, catching the ball, showing the referee the ball right as soon as he catches it.
Only his second catch of the night, by the way. Came into the game with 31 receptions in 4 games. This is third down 1 from the 23-yard line. Here is Hill. Looks like he got the first down, but not much more. Not much more, and this could be close here.
Boy, it's going to be close. The guy who got great push that time, Robbie Valenzuela, the defensive tackle, really making a nice play, coming through the offensive line.
Now they're saying he got it, but it was very, very close. As you well know from your playing days, a lot of fellow players over the years have told me, he says, you know, a lot of it depends on whether the official marks it with his right foot toward you or his left foot toward them. And it looked like this time the left foot toward Oregon was the mark, and thus the first down from Arizona State. First down, John, at 24.
All right, first down, money says they throw this time.
You are right, sir. And it's a release out here to the left side to Hakeem Hill, and he gets about 7. He's knocked out of bounds at the 32-yard line by Anthony Trucks. This is not the kind of passes that Arizona State normally likes to throw. He likes to go vertical with this ball, but he's going to need to do this to move the chains.
Wow, Devin Long, look at him. He can't get by Grayling Love. Man, the best offensive lineman of Arizona State. They moved him over to defend against number 92, and he just hammered him.
On second down 3, first down and more. This is Hakeem Hill. Hill down at the 15. And maybe inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. Marley Tucker made the stop after that long run.
Watch the left tackle. You're going to get a rush up the field, and then what you're going to get, he just is going to hit it full speed. And this is just great blocking up front. Boy, that's nice by the left tackle. They came around, sealed it inside, and then Hakeem Hill just springing down the sideline. Huge gain by the Sun Devils.
56 yards on that carry, and Hill now putting up the numbers. He has 102 yards tonight. 1st and 10 from the 12. Play fake. Walter over the middle. It's complete down at the 2-yard line and wrestled out of bounds is freshman Zach Miller, number 86.
Zach Miller, such a big target, gives Walter a nice, secure area to throw, and he defends himself away from the defender nicely. You know, a lot of players these days, you see them playing basketball on grass, really. I mean, a lot of guys spread out. They get nice spacing between each other, and right there, Walter to the young Zach Miller.
And Marley Tucker is down, the rover back for the Oregon Ducks. That's the man who's receiving the attention down there just inside the goal line. Rivals.com is your football recruiting source. Who will be the stars of tomorrow? Check out Rivals.com and find out today. So the trainer's out checking over Marley Tucker, and Arizona State has moved this ball right down the field this time, and the key run was that of Hakeem Hill. And the big question coming into the game, and I know a lot of people who make these decisions about who's favored in the game or not, favored Oregon in this game by a couple of points. And one of the reasons, of course, was because of the running back situation. Lauren Wade suspended, and administrative investigation going on there in the Arizona State University Athletic Department. Randy Hill blew his knee out, and the coach last week, Dirk Cutter, said he went after that game down in the locker room and said, are there any volunteers to play tailback? Because only Hakeem Hill was left, and Hakeem is saying, I'm all you need.
Well, Rudy Burgess put his hand up. He really welcomed it. He rushed for over 2,200 yards in high school, rushed for over 1,000 his junior year. And Hakeem Hill, he's doing it with a bad arm.
And we'll be right back.
If you want to add a little flair to your floors, you can. From carpet to hardwood to laminate, nobody covers more floors than the Home Depot. Only the Home Depot has the new DuPont Real Touch Elite. It's so authentic you have to feel it to believe it. Install it yourself or get expert installation through the Home Depot. Right now, get 12 months, no payments, no interest on any flooring, kitchen, bath, or appliance purchase of $299 or more with your Home Depot consumer credit card. Only at the Home Depot. You can do it, we can help.
We are in the business of winning.
In 2002, Sports Illustrated chose a story about a group of high school kids.
This is our town.
Yeah.
Their coach.
Be calm in there. Keep you cool.
And their small town.
Gonna win state?
Yeah.
As one of the greatest sports stories ever told.
Stop team! Let's go right now! Let's do it! Run! Yeah. We gotta step it up. I don't want this to never end. Never!
Rated PG-13 at theaters Friday.
And they are going to take Marley Tucker, the rover back for the Oregon Ducks, who was injured on that last play. They're going to take him off on the golf cart there, and we hope the young man is okay. We'll check on that. We're not going to speculate. Our next telecast, let's tell you about that while we wait to hear about the injury. Our next telecast next Saturday at 7 Eastern. Texas Tech Red Raiders host the Nebraska Cornhuskers, 7 o'clock. Eastern time. Ron Thulin, Charles Davis will have that for you. They had a good one earlier tonight with the Kansas State and Texas A&M game. You see it down there in the lower quarter of your scores, 42-30, and that was much closer than that appears to be. And Oklahoma winning once again. Oklahoma State a winner. Missouri beats Colorado. Wow. Texas rolls over Baylor, and Nebraska beat Kansas.
Not a lot of high scores.
No, not really. No. The 42 points from Texas A&M, and again, the last one came very late in the ball game. And the good news is Marley Tucker is up and moving. You always wonder if there's some kind of nerve damage or something, but It's not apparent as they take Marley Tucker off the field for his attention in the Oregon locker room. You see the right arm is what they're already attached a cast to. Let's get on quickly to Craig. Craig.
Well, Marley Tucker is one of the toughest guys in the Oregon football team. He has not missed one day of practice despite being banged up several times. When they saw the car come out, Mike Bellotti very upset. He asked immediately what happened. They said they're going to put an air cast and a brace on his right arm. Could be the elbow, could be other part of the arm. They will have an update later.
Thanks, Craig. First and goal from the 2. Here's the handoff. Hakeem Hill driving on the right side. Does not get in. Stopped down around the 1-yard line.
We haven't called his name a whole lot. Haloti not making the tackle that time from defensive tackle. Working hard against Drew Hodgson, the center. Boy, Haloti, that's a guy, 6'5", 345 pounds. Got a 500-pound bench, a 600-pound squat. Ow! 350-pound power clean.
And how about this? He looks bigger than that. A man mountain. Second down goal from the 1. Here is Hakeem Hill driving down near the goal line. And apparent at this point, he did not get in. Wait till they unpile him. And now they say it is a touchdown. Hakeem Hill takes it in for his first touchdown, his second touchdown of the year. Hakeem Hill.
Boy, a delayed call, but a great angle that time. Watching it, Hakeem Hill running off right guard. Well, I'm not sure he got over. Haloti Nata there. Ramon Reed. Solomano. Boy, great look.
Well, it's a line drive in the box scores. I'd like to say they counted for 6. Ainsworth in for the point after. And the Sun Devils have built their lead to 21-6. We're at the 10:58 mark of quarter number 3 from Autzen Stadium in Oregon, in Eugene, Oregon. We'll be right back.
The Kia Sedona with a 5-star safety rating. More safety features, more sanity. Welcome to more. The Kia Sedona. Introducing the totally redesigned Kia Spectra, starting around $13,000. More value, more obsession. Welcome to more. The Kia Spectra.
Get some runs now. Get him, slugger.
Hey, I know that guy. That's Miles. He can't bat for you. He works for Office Depot.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. He absolutely works for us. Office Depot set up our entire office. Computers, desks, chairs, right down to the chair mats. Technically, yeah, he works for Office Depot, but they're a huge part of our company. Do a lot more than Hanson.
And he's got a bat for us, too.
No way, why?
Where do you think we got our computers?
Office Depot. Everything your business needs to win at everyday low prices.
Hampton has this great complimentary hot breakfast with a rotating menu. Lots of delicious stuff like sausage, muffins, Danish, biscuits, egg patties, French toast sticks, and more. Huh. Caution. Hot. They even have a complimentary on-the-go breakfast bag. It is complimentary, right?
Yes.
I can just take it?
Yes.
College football on TBS brought to you by Kia. 8 cars, 1 belief. Make every mile count. And college football on TBS is also brought to you by the U.S. Postal Service. With more new ways to use us than ever before, the U.S. Postal Service is working for you. So Marley Tucker has been taken in, the rover back for Oregon, for attention on his injury. Meanwhile, Hakeem Hill came out and got the touchdown or not. On the replay, you couldn't tell, but officially he's in, and that's how it will stand. And the point after is good, and that gives the Arizona State Sun Devils a 21-6 lead in the game. Kenny Washington about 3 yards deep. He's got something as a penalty marker down. Has a little bit of a lane on the right side and crosses the 32-33, but a flag flew. And here is the report, very quickly, by the way, on Marley Tucker. A right elbow dislocation. He'll be out for the game. And as I look at my friend Tom He's grimacing. It's got to be painful.
I never had one of those.
Among all the others, you didn't have one of the. That one just didn't come up in your career.
Didn't want that one.
So Marley Tucker will not return in the game, but the news is that it's no more serious than that.
On the receiving team during the return, number 22, 10-yard penalty for the spot of the foul, first down.
There's the explanation of the penalty. We were just noticing that Oregon, of course, hasn't scored a touchdown in this game. That's 2 and third quarters. They had also not scored in the fourth quarter of last year's game. So we're approaching 4 full quarters since Oregon has scored a touchdown in Arizona State.
And right now, having to go to long field doesn't help you. Starting to drive off with penalty on kickoff return.
Here's the handoff to Whitehead. Whitehead, I thought, was going to have more yards than that, but he cut it back over to the left and didn't get him anymore. Out to about the 17-yard line.
Well, the Oregon coaches told us here on second down, you got second and 5. And if you're going to take a shot down the field, this is where you want to take it. Arizona State, I don't want to say they're predictable on defense, but at least you might get a matchup here. Maybe play action, try and get the ball down the field. One guy who hasn't touched the ball tonight has been Tim Day, the tight end.
Unbelievable. He hasn't had the ball many times all year, frankly, as good as he is. Only 7 catches. Coming in here. Here's Clemens. He has some time, but can't find anybody, so he's going to run for the first down and more and out to the 28-29-yard line before he's knocked down by Kyle Caldwell.
Well, you get a little breathing room there for Oregon. You get away from your own goal line. Now you can start utilizing a little bit of the weapons you have on offense. Dante Rosario, number 44, they need to get him involved. Tim Day, number 85, they need to get him involved. There's a little play action, tried to work backside, and boy, the windows just close quick for Kellen Clemens. And you know, I always say when you go back to throw, you got like quick little windows you could throw into. And right now, Arizona State's shut.
One of the highest compliments for a defensive secondary is you don't hear their names. We haven't even been talking about them much tonight. They haven't even been able to throw that way. This is Whitehead. He gets no yards on that carry. So McKenzie and Emmanuel Franklin, Ricardo Stewart, Josh Golden, they've been really doing the job.
And I think the other highest compliment, Bob, is this. When you ask Mike Bellotti, hey, does Arizona State blitz a lot? He said, you know, they don't. It just looks like they do because they play so hard and fast. And that is a key when you can rush 4 guys and it looks like blitz, because it looks like blitz not only to the coaches, it looks like blitz to the quarterback and the receivers.
This will be 2nd and 9 from the 30-yard line. 3 receivers split out to the bottom of your screen. They're going to give the ball. Boy, did you hear that hit. That ball was handed to Terrence Whitehead for a couple. He got hit by thrower. This week's installment of Home Depot Building a Team features the ASU New York Connection. Cornerback Chris McKenzie and Dale Robinson. Tom, this is a fascinating story. They both played Pop Warner football together in Queens, New York. They knew each other their whole life. Then McKenzie comes out of high school and winds his way to Glendale Community Junior College. Later, Robinson goes to C.W. Post, drops out of school. He's convinced by McKenzie to come out to Glendale, gets his grades, and now they're both here at Arizona State. That's one way to build a team. Complicated. That pass is complete and out of bounds at the 46-yard line to number 6, Demetrius Williams.
Boy, I got to tell you, that's all Kellen Clemens right there. That's being a great athlete. That's being a competitor. He steps out of harm's way once or twice. Again, watch him come off the edge on the backside. Whoa, they go flying by him, and then Dale Robinson comes up, forces him to throw, but that's a nice catch that time by Demetrius Williams. Nice wide out. I believe only his, second catch tonight?
Yeah, 23 yards on that one. We want to thank Allstate, by the way, for providing tonight's goalpost cam. You're in good hands with Allstate. The numbers on Kellen Clemens, 117, 113 yards. No TDs, no interceptions. 8:19 to go in the third quarter. Clemens going to go to the air again. Sees nothing, going to run again. What a move. The lightning feet of Kellen Clemens. I bet he'd never believed we would have ever said that about the young man.
Boy, he did. Put a move on Dale Robinson.
Yeah. And Dale Robinson is lightning. He is he's 6'1", 235, the linebacker we were just speaking about. He had 7.5 tackles for loss coming into this game.
That's right, number 1 in the conference in sacks, too, with 4.
And there he was faked out by Kellen Clemens. They may talk to him about that in the locker room, his teammates on this. Second down, 3 now for the Ducks, trailing 21-6. Whitehead breaks loose and gets the first down. Whitehead has broken loose a couple of times tonight after apparently being stopped. That time he drives it to the 33-yard line.
Terrence Whitehead, great effort that time. They're trying to run a tackle trap. Watch the trap come in, and Jordan Hill once again in the backfield of Oregon, but Whitehead just keeps his legs going, keeps his eyes up the field, and just gets north and south.
He has 19 carries for 87 yards tonight, does Terrence Whitehead.
Yeoman's work.
Yes. And Hakeem Hill on the other side has 103. Hakeem has 1 touchdown. 7:15 to go in the third. First and 10 from the 32-yard line for the Ducks. They're going to go to Whitehead again. Here's another tackle. Down to the 25-yard line. What a performance by this young man.
Again, big gain on first down. 2nd and 2. Take a shot down the field. Again, a little counter. Offensive line doing a nice job. Anoka Lucas standing his man up. Adam Schneider, they're running behind the big left tackle. And Neil Zambucas, the offensive line coach, has to be happy with the way they're playing. Terrence Whitehead finally getting a break.
Yeah, Kenny Washington comes in. Washington, pretty good pass receiver. They put 3 receivers out here to the right side. This is 2nd down 2. They're going to go ahead and run it to get the first down. Washington looked like there's the quickness of Arizona State. That looked like an opening for Washington, and Ricardo Stewart went and closed the door.
Boy, did he did. That was just explosiveness to the football. Watch him right here come in, bam! Oh my goodness. Ricardo Stewart, one of the leaders of the team, and just a great player.
Not a big guy, 5'10", 220, but he hit big on that play for sure. 21-6, Arizona State, 6 minutes to go, third period. First down, 10 Oregon at the 21-yard line. Going to throw the screen over on the left side. And Day gets about 5 down to the 15-yard line.
Well, they got blitz on the strong side that time, so they had the good play called. Backside screen to Tim Day. They set up screen, slow it down. You see him trying to set up the screen down the field. Nice job. That's good. They're good tacklers. Beyond everything else, besides running fast and being tough, they're good tacklers.
So Tim Day gets involved finally and gets about 5 or 6 yards. 2nd down 4 at the 15 for Oregon now, trailing 21-6, but moving. This has been a methodical drive by the Ducks.
This is where Arizona State tightens the vice inside the 20-yard line.
Here's Whitehead again. Not much this time. But look at this. He is so difficult to bring down. They'll say his forward progress, however, only got to about the 13 or 14, not much. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 2, and they'll officially say it's at the 13-yard line, along with Craig Sager and Tom Ramsey. This is Bob Neal from Autzen Stadium, just adjacent to the campus of the University of Oregon in Eugene. Hope you're enjoying our doubleheader football tonight on TBS, part of PlayStation 7.
Keep an eye on the fullback, number 44, Dante Rosario. They like to use him coming out of the backfield.
Williams in motion, they hand it to Whitehead once again. And not much, if anything, that time in the crowd here on that 3rd down and 2, not happy with that play call.
Not happy, and they're contemplating going for it here.
You know, they've got this offensive line. Some people say it's among the best offensive lines that Oregon's had. It's, you know, they average 6'5", 310. And against, obviously, almost any defensive line would be smaller than that. And they've been unable to punch much out of it. The yardage that's been gained here has been second effort by Terrence Whitehead much of the time. So now it is 4th down and 2. And let's see what the O-line does. They're going to pass it. It is complete to Keith Allen, but did he get the first down? Josh Golden just lit him up as soon as he got his hands on the ball. Let's watch where the spot is.
Boy, Josh Golden came flying on Keith Allen. They try and get Keith Allen out in the flat. They scored him out. Kellen Clemens puts the ball on time. Oh, he didn't put the ball up the field.
No, it depends on this spot, and from here, it looks like they made the spot in favor of Oregon, and it is a first down Ducks. So on 4th and 2, a quick out to Keith Allen to pick up the yardage.
Well, Keith Allen's a big guy, too, 6'1", 215, and Josh Golden, 5'10", 175 pounds. Golden got the better end of it. Man.
Clock running down in the 3rd period, 3:19 to go, and the Ducks, who have not scored a touchdown against Oregon since the 3rd quarter of last year, are threatening here. Clemens, he's going to keep it. Go to the left side, but he could not get away from 91 Jimmy Verdon.
Nope, he could. Jimmy Verdon just chases down the option. They go option short side of the field. And Jimmy Verdon just right on Clemens' heel. Right the whole time. And then Burks comes and almost takes off Clemens' head.
This Arizona State, you know, you just don't think Arizona State football defense. Well, you should start thinking. They're undefeated at 4-0. They're leading here 21-6 and are playing well. They are being tested right now. 2nd down from the 10-yard line. 2nd and 9. A play fake. They shuttle the pass forward to Whitehead. Touchdown! He scored a touchdown on that same play last week against Idaho.
Great call that time. Andy Ludwig, the offensive coordinator. As you mentioned, Bob, same play a week ago against the Idaho Vandals. Watch, he's going to set up, get nice blocks. He gets a block out in front. And that's a good piece of running, too. Good fake into the line. See how quick the ball comes out. And it's a pass, so you really don't risk a whole lot. Siegel lining up for the point after.
And it is good. And we have a 21-13 ball game. Here's the Ducks get their first touchdown, and this a shovel pass to Terrence Whitehead.
Where does reality end and pure vision begin? A Pioneer Elite plasma display features our exclusive First Surface Pure Color filter. The purest color, the purest experience. Pure vision. Only from Pioneer.
Toyota just extended September into October for 1 weekend only. Get low 1.9 financing for 36 months on any new 05 Camry. Get $500 cash back on any new 05 Corolla. And don't miss your last chance to get $750 cash back on all remaining new 04 Toyota SUVs and Tacomas, or $1,000 back on the last of the new 04 Tundras. But it's only for 1 more weekend. See your Toyota dealer before it all ends October 4th.
I never thought about it. I always thought cancer happened to other people. I was in total denial that I had lymphoma. That was years ago. Ashland Bellefonte Cancer Center helped me get my life back. I'm young, and there's so much more that I want to do. Thank you, Ashland Bellefonte Cancer Center, for the hope and the support that I needed.
Ashland Bellefonte Cancer Center, the most comprehensive cancer treatment in the area.
So Terrence Whitehead has 3 touchdowns on the season, 2 receiving from shovel passes, 1 rushing, and here it is again, Tom Ramsey.
And you can run this play because when the defensive linemen rush upfield, you can isolate one guy and watch him get the block on the linebacker, and it's just that quick little shovel. All of a sudden, barn door opens and Whitehead scores a touchdown.
And some pretty good blocking after that catch, too. At least it was important blocking. And it is 21-13 now. And the kickoff from Siegel. Burgess at the 16. He can't get outside of Sam Hughes, and down he goes, and quickly, let's go to Ernie Johnson. Ernie.
All right, thank you, Bob. Look what happened in overtime in Evanston. The always reliable Ohio State kicker Mike Nugent misses Coach from 40 yards out.
Hard to believe. And Northwestern then gets the chance. Look at this.
And they're right down there in the shadow of the goal line. And you give it to Noah Herron, who had 111 yards on the day, and Northwestern has beaten Ohio State for the first time since 1971, and for the first time in Evanston since 1958.
Major sucking up to Randy Walker.
And how about Craig Sager, who was Willie the Wildcat, the mascot, last time Northwestern beat him.
Akeem Hill with the carry across the 27, and Craig Sager, we can't let it get by without you making a comment about that.
That was pretty exciting. I remember the last time when Northwestern beat Ohio State in Ohio State at Columbus. Alex Agassi took the whole team, went up to the locker room. I was the mascot. I should have been keeping a low profile. Instead, I ran around that horseshoe in my purple uniform and plastic head. 86,000 people wanted to look for somebody to vent their frustrations. They found me, and I became a sacrificial lamb or sacrificial wildcat that day. Alex Agassi never could figure out how come the team won. It was the mascot who got most beat up.
On a second down, 8. Quick toss out here to the near side is complete. Short gain, maybe 2-3 yards to Derek Hagan. And I can't let this go either. This is the most deafening crowd that I've heard in years at college football.
Oh, yeah. One of the toughest places to play. Mike Bellotti, 9-1 in night games at Autzen Stadium. Just when the crowd gets into it, they're into it now. They're getting on their feet. It's third down, 5. They just scored a touchdown to pull to within 21-13 of Arizona State. 41 seconds to go in the third period. Walter. Is it complete? They are signaling that it is complete to Terry Richardson. That was a close call also. They'll spot it at the 40-yard line, and that brought this crowd quiet just like that. Big third down conversion there by Terry Richardson. He ran a nice route. They're 3 and 7 now on third down. Watch Richardson go low for the low one right in front of Aaron Gibson. Doesn't give Gibson really doesn't allow him a chance to even make the play on the ball.
Yeah, really nice catch. He cradled it in his arms and kept it off the turf. Akeem Hill running back, 1st and 10 from their own 40 for the Sun Devils, leading 21-13. Walter completes it for the first down and a little bit more. Once again, now going back to his comfort blanket, Derek Hagan. Gibson covering on the play, and that'll be the last play of the third quarter. And the Sun Devils have penetrated Oregon territory.
Get ready for a whole new kind of Dodge. Introducing the all-new Magnum SXT with a 3.5-liter high-output engine and all-speed traction control. Open it up and find a tri-fold cargo floor, unique access liftgate, even a powerful Boston acoustic sound system. Dodge Magnum SXT, a whole different ride. Velocity meets versatility. The all-new Magnum starting at $22,495, only at your Dodge dealer.
The crack of bats, the roar of fans, the sweet smell of pine tar. MLB 2005 is here. There's Sean Green going deep. Looking good, Adam Dunn. MLB 2005 has everything you love about the game and a nifty online mode so you can play folks across the country. Isn't that right, Eric Chavez? We'll take that as a yes. Rated E for everyone.
PlayStation 2, now just $149.
I put a spell on you. Because you're mine. I put a spell on you.
Isn't that Harold?
Mm-hmm. Daytime calls are just too expensive, so he went nocturnal.
Yes, it is very late.
Get another wireless plan, Harold.
Daytime calls costing you a fortune? Come to T-Mobile and talk whenever nationwide.
Daytime.
T-Mobile gives you the most whenever minutes. 1,000 for just $39.99.
T-Mobile. Get more.
Welcome back to college football on TBS, part of Big Play Station Saturday. As we get set to start the fourth quarter, it is 21-13. Arizona State Sun Devils, they are undefeated coming in here. This is the Pac-10 opener for Oregon. Now going the other way from the 45-yard line of the Ducks. Play fake to Akeem Hill. Pressure. Walter with nowhere to go. Now this crowd came alive. Watch Devin Long come off the defensive end. He gets stymied. He gets stymied early on. Spin move. Watch him just keep pursuing. All of a sudden, Walter comes out. Devin Long there, the leading sacker, coming back this year in the Pac-10. He had 11.5 last year, behind a lot of great players. Kenichi Udeze out of Southern Cal, Didi Achalanu at Washington State. With Devin Long, he can bring it off the corner. 2nd and 22. Walter goes out to the left side. It is complete there, but very quickly, Lee Burtgraff goes down, number 83, the tight end. Catches very few of their passes, but he is the tight end. And our 1st and 10 line is brought to you by Home Depot, and it is a long way upfield at the moment. They're going to have to get a long measure out for that one. Right here, this is what Oregon wanted. They wanted to get their defense back in. They wanted to get their crowd back in it. Well, they got it, and now Arizona State faces their most difficult 3rd down of the night. It's 3rd and 24. The noise is deafening. You just want to pick up half of it here. Over the middle. What a grab! Oh, that was Jamal Lewis who caught the first touchdown pass of the ball game, and that was a pass reception of about 26 or 7 yards, and it was 3rd and 24. That's an unbelievable throw. That is a great throw and a great catch. And I got to tell you, I thought they'd go for half of it and then punt it away and put Oregon down deep in their own territory. But Jamal Lewis is coming up with a huge grab. He had 1 catch coming into this game tonight. Now that big conversion and the touchdown early. It's 1st and 10 at the 33 for the Sun Devils. Handoff, Hakeem Hill. He's hit in the backfield and may lose a little yardage on that, a yard or more. Aaron Gibson came up to make the play on Hakeem Hill. Hakeem, by the way, had, prior to that, 16 carries for 105, so that'll cut back on the 100 a bit. But he's had a very good night tonight, including a touchdown run. But now the Oregon defense, as a matter of fact, played well all night, but they've given up some key, like that 3rd down conversion. That's a backbreaker. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. The throw, phenomenal throw.
Flag on the field was for legal participation on the defense, 12 players. However, it was determined that there are only 11 players on the defense. Therefore, there was no foul. Disregard the flag.
You know that the referee was a math major at UCLA. Did you know that, Tom? Huh? Jay Streicher? Yeah. I never saw him on campus. You know UCLA in the math. I'll tell you, if we get a shot of Jay Streicher, though, on the other side of his head, he looks like he has a big pencil with a big eraser. And that's his microphone on the other side. We needed one on that one. Yeah. Okay, actually 11, no flag. Burgess, number 3, the tailback for the Sun Devils on this 2nd down 12. It's a screen to Burgess. Not much. He got past the original 1st down marker, but not a heck of a lot more. You know, Burgess never gets knocked off his feet. He has such great balance. And watching him on these punt returns and kickoff returns, he is a hard guy to bring down.
And even then, he got blasted out of bounds, and he didn't go down.
He's 5'11", 180. I mean, that's not a bad size for a guy to play out of the tailback spot some. And as you pointed out earlier, he played some tailback when he was in high school. He gained a lot of yards. It's 3rd down 8 at the 31-yard line. Crowd noise getting loud again. Clemens had a man in the seam of the zone, but he fell down and couldn't get there in time. It was Derek Hagan. He fell down and could not get up.
And they had a chance to get him the ball. And, you know, they're playing on this field turf. It has that rubberized ground-up tire down ground into the synthetic turf, and he just lost his footing. Double cover, too. We said Andrew Walter would throw into double coverage and try and get his first down on occasion.
This is a 48-yard field goal attempt by Jesse Ainsworth. His longest of the year is 48 yards. It's hooking. Wide to the left, it is no good. So after that drive, the Oregon Ducks defense held, despite giving up a first down on a 3rd and 24, and we remain at Sun Devils 21, Oregon 13.
During the game, complete strangers unite, holding their fingers aloft in celebration of their team's greatness. But after the game, some of those same fans use their fingers for other purposes. When you leave the game, try to exercise some patience. You might even qualify for an Allstate Safe Driver discount, because good sportsmanship should extend to the road. That's Allstate stand. Are you in good hands?
Velocity meets versatility. The all-new Hemi-powered Dodge Magnum. Open it up from either end.
What are you doing?
I am online, about to acquire the Crystal Leaf, which will open the gate.
I thought you said you were going to the post office for me.
It's done.
Excuse me?
I went to USPS.com, paid for postage online, printed myself a label.
So now you're going to the post office?
Sort of.
Hi, Ted.
Hey, Earl. Here you go.
Have a good one.
What are you doing?
I think I got the Crystal Leaf.
Just one more way the U.S. Postal Service is working for you.
Oregon only a touchdown and a 2-point conversion away from tying this game with 12:08 remaining. And fans, it is time to vote for your T-Mobile player of the game. To vote, pick up your phone, text A, B, C, or D, send to TBS, and we'll show you the results later. It's that simple. 1st and 10 now, Ducks from their own 32-yard line. Clemens getting some good protection, now running out and throwing on the run, and basically just threw it away. The coverage was there all over the field.
Yeah, the Arizona State defense sniffed it out, screened Terrence Whitehead again. And what amazes me about this defense again, Bob, they line up so wide. And that's one of the things I think they picked up on film from the Oklahoma Sooners.
Yeah.
Oklahoma lined up very wide against the Oregon Ducks and caused all kinds of problems. But it allows the linebackers a little more flexibility to run to the football, pursuit of the ball. And Jordan Hill had a great game up front for Arizona State. Jimmy Verdon, Kyle Caldwell.
2nd down 10. Of course, you can only do that if you have defensive speed, and they do. Here's a screen out to the left side. It is Terrence Whitehead who catches it, and he gets only to his own 29-yard line before Dale Robinson lays the wood to it. Dale Robinson, there he is, number 44. He has 5 tackles tonight. Justin Burks has 7 tackles. 4 tackles for Jamar Williams. Those are unofficial numbers, but as you can see, those linebackers are there to make plays. This will bring up 3rd down 12. Just inside their own 30, trailing 21-13. 11:30 to go in this ball game. The Ducks Pac-10 season opener. Clemens picks it up and is dropped again. Wow, that was Justin Burks flying through there like a semi-trailer going on a downhill slide.
Wow. Where's the turnoff in the big sand pit that they have on the side of the road? Because Burks came a-flying. Ball gets jarred. Oh, you know, Clemens tried to throw it again.
I got to like that about him.
I like his effort.
Here is the punt. And it's going to come out of bounds. Dickman shanked it.
Boy, that hurt.
Yeah, Dickman knocked that out, and they're going to say it went out of bounds right at midfield. We'll be back in a moment. 10:40 to go. Sun Devils 21, Oregon 13.
The Pac-10 is providing K-8 schools with an online learning program that improves test scores. It's called Kids College, and it uses state standard curriculum and Pac-10 sports activities to prescribe individualized instruction and provide students with the motivation they need to learn. Kids College makes learning fun. Log on to learn more. The Pac-10, a conference of champions.
People everywhere are experiencing a breakthrough. Fullness from a value menu.
He was fine, and then he just stopped eating.
This man is completely full. What was he eating?
A spicy chicken burrito.
He kept going, sound. Are you sure? And fullness off a value menu?
It's the new Big Bell Value Menu, featuring the spicy chicken burrito with shredded chicken simmered in authentic Mexican spices. To keep your stomach and your wallet full, think outside the bun.
Dude, what do you got in that thing?
I got an amp, guitar, surfboard, ladder, and 12 2x4s.
Velocity meets versatility. The all-new Hemi-powered Dodge Magnum. Open it up from either end.
Welcome back. It's 21-13, and Arizona State, after that only 25-yard punt, has really good field position. It's time now to take a look at tonight's All-State Good Hands play. You're in good hands with All-State, and these are good hands. Richardson goes down to keep it off the turf. I would say Jamal Lewis showed some good hands and body when he caught that big third down conversion earlier also. He took that looking. Hakeem Hill in the backfield, first down 10, right at midfield for the Sun Devils. Giving it to Hakeem again. He found a lane, and that was all him. Stutter stepping, looking for the opening, and he makes about 8 or 9 on the play. J.D. Nelson tackled him.
Yeah, the last drive before this, the offensive line did a great job. And, you know, Arizona State really had a great find in the offseason. Brent Myers, new offensive line coach. He took over for Jeff Grimes, who's now at BYU. But Dirk Cutter said having Brent Myers, they've worked with each other before, really allowed a nice fit for the offensive line of these Arizona State Sun Devils.
Second down 2. Walters wanted to take it upstairs, then he wanted to run. He thought he saw an opening. He did not get it, loses about a yard on the play. And David Faiatiti made the play. Easy for me to say. Number 90, freshman from Medford, Oregon. By the way, Arizona State had negative -2 yards rushing in the first half. That's net after the sacks were taken off. They now have 101 yards rushing. 3rd and 3 from the 43. Huge defensive play for the Ducks.
Brad Holopi knocked the back in at defensive tackle.
Walter wants to throw. He has a little time. It was nearly intercepted and knocked down by Marcus Binns. He should have caught it. It was right there. Nevertheless, it'll still be a punting situation, too far away from even a thought of a field goal. And Chris McDonald comes onto the field.
Oh, boy. A dangerous throw. Binns in double coverage. Should have come down with it.
Justin Finnessy, number 31, is back to take this punt from Chris McDonald. This could be a good creep if there's a fair catch signal. And it was made. The catch was made at the 20-yard line. So we have 9:08 to go. The Ducks have the ball, down 8 to the Sun Devils.
Tuesdays and Wednesdays, turn on
TBS. I want to be Call Girl meets Park Avenue.
Then you're going to have to pair that with a nice little cardigan.
Everybody wants you. 2 nights.
Twice a night.
With the best sex still to come.
I'd like to get me some of that.
I'm Candy. You're a candy striper.
Sex in the City. Tuesdays at 9 and Wednesdays at 10 on TBS.
It's here. A complete line of over 30 power tools from Rigid that'll seriously outperform what you're using now. With ExactLine laser precision, free batteries for the first 3 years, more torque, and a tough 3-year warranty. But the attachment that says the most about these tools, the pros who swear by them. Rigid, powerful, durable, professional. Buy them now at the Home Depot.
Out of gas?
Yeah. Dodge Grand Caravan. The only minivan with stow and go. Another minivan first from Dodge.
Daddy just had to get a motorcycle, didn't he?
Funny, huh?
Let's check out our Levi's game summary. You see the scoring by quarters. Hakeem Hill with 18 carries for 111 on the TD. Terrence Whitehead getting up near 100. He has a touchdown receiving. And it's a pretty even Steven game statistically, but the Sun Devils lead it 21-13. That was Whitehead again. Not much this time.
Boy, just running into the teeth of the defense, too. Man. Burks just... He must have 10 tackles tonight. Justin Burks.
Yeah, he's getting close to it. Gabe Reininger was in on that play too. But Burks, between the unofficially, the linebackers have 8 and 4 is 12, and they've got 14 tackles.
Yeah,
not bad.
Yeah, they got a bunch. Well, those defensive tackles doing a great job taking on the double teams, and then all of a sudden frees up the linebackers to make plays.
2nd down 9. Clemens has time, has a man, overthrows Demetrius Williams out at the 38-yard line. Let's go quickly to Craig Sager.
Well, during that exchange during this couple minutes ago, both the offense and defense got together on the Oregon sidelines. The defense was complimented by the offense and said, you guys did our job, your job, now we have to do ours. One of the inspirational parts was Robbie Knievel, who we saw go off on a cart, has come back out. He obviously is out for the game with a high ankle sprain, but he grabbed his O-linemen together and said, come on, guys, we have to protect Clemens. All we need is 1 touchdown on a 2-point conversion. Let's go out there and do it.
It's a 3rd down conversion situation. 3rd and 9 from the 21 for Clemens. Wants to throw. Here's pressure. He has a man open. Incomplete because the coverage closed so quickly. It was Emmanuel Franklin who came up quickly on Demetrius Williams, and the conversion does not happen.
Yeah, watch him trying to get to the corner, and Emmanuel Franklin, that's a great play. Got his hand on the ball, knocked it out of Demetrius Williams' hands, and just a great play. And again, a lot of pressure that time on Kellen Clemens.
Dittman with a 25-yard punt last time out. Let's see if he does better this time. Yes, this is better. Driving Burgess back to his 32-yard line. And look at him avoid tacklers. Burgess gets some nice yardage, some tough punt return yardage, and gets it to the 41. So once again, the Sun Devils are now going to have excellent field position. They lead at 21-13. Oregon has been knocking on the door, but not able to convert that touchdown.
Now, we talked about the offensive line of Arizona State. The guy running behind him, Hakeem Hill, a little stutter step counter, and Grayling Love did a great job at left tackle, allowed Hill to get down the sideline there. Hill over from a yard out for a score, and really bringing the business tonight. 18 for 111, 6.2 average. He went over the 100-yard mark one other time in his career.
1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. Walter has his man. It is complete at the 40-yard line, and down to the 30-yard line goes freshman Zach Miller. Number 86, 84, Anthony Trucks makes the tackle.
Boy, a nice play again. Watch Zach Miller. He's going to come in and just come back out, and they fake the ball into the line of scrimmage, and they give just a nice little corner route. And Andrew Walter's a great spot thrower. He can throw it on a line. He can drop it into a cup. He can throw it through a tire. Second half, Walter 9 of 11. So he changed it around. He's 3 of 10 in the first half, 9 of 11 in the second half.
That pass completion, 27 yards. 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line of Oregon. Now the crowd calling on the defense again. Hakeem bounces it outside and gets it to about the 29 before Justin Finnessy came up to stop him. Our 1st and 10 line brought to you by Home Depot, and the 1st and 10 line there at about the 22.5-yard line. That's the line to make. It'll be 2nd down 7 for the Sun Devils, leading at 21-13. We are down to 7:07 in this game and counting.
I'm really impressed with Arizona State, both offensively, defensively, special teams, but offensively they came in with a plan. They've stuck to it. 2 tight ends, 2 wide outs. And they've really, because they're down a back, they've used that other tight end as a blocking back.
Hakeem Hill, the single setback. We're going to give it to Hakeem to try the middle. He does not get much at all. He gets about 3 maybe before being driven back. You see that stop. Ramon Reed hit him first, and A.J. Tuatelli finished him off. There's Reed, 18, Tuatelli's number 34. Reed's playing, by the way, with an arthritic knee. It's problematic to him, but he nevertheless leads the team in tackles coming into this game.
One of the best game day players the Oregon Ducks have. He empties his tank on the field.
Here is yet another 3rd down conversion play.
Looks like Andrew Walter will elect to call timeout, letting the clock run down a little further.
There he is, gets the timeout, lets the clock run down to 5:57 before the conversion attempt. It will be 3rd down 5 there at the 27 of Oregon.
Where does reality end and pure vision begin? It all starts with a Pioneer plasma display. The purest color, the purest experience. Pure vision. Only from Pioneer.
Hanging out with my good friend. Days like these should never end.
Yeah, come on, let's get out of here.
When the quality of your beer matches the quality of your friends, it's easy to lose track of time. Sam Adams Light, the taste of good times.
Are you searching for the great fajita? Chili's sizzling steak and portobello mushroom fajitas. Tender, juicy grilled steak topped with grilled marinated portobello mushrooms and then served with warm flour tortillas and a chimichurri sauce you can drizzle on for even more flavor. Chili steak and portobello mushroom fajitas. Want more flavor in your life?
Welcome to Chili's.
Arizona State leading 21-13. A big conversion play coming up here. It'll be 3rd down 5. And after this one, take a look at this. If they continue undefeated, they're leading now. They'll have a bye week and then against number 1 USC. 3rd down 5. Walter wants to throw. He completes the pass at the 19-yard line to Terry Richardson, showing his, quote, good hands again. Gibson knocks him down, but not till he gets the 1st down.
Really nice that time. Richardson coming across the formation, just running the speed out. Andrew Walter once again on target, really putting the ball on the money in the second half here. Andrew Walter showing his veteran leadership. when the going got tough, Bob, he really stepped it up a notch or two. And, you know, just seeing him on film, progressing over the last 2 years, you see perfect numbers tonight. No, not perfect, but no interceptions. And the ball in the right places a lot of times.
Hakeem Hill tried the middle, bounced it outside, got a little bit where there was very little available, and Haloti Ngata makes the stop, number 96 for the Ducks. We are down to 5:16 and counting, with the Sun Devils leading it by 8.
Boy, this game has really been hard fought. In the trenches, both sides have had their areas of opportunity. Career high for Hakeem Hill, 119 yards. His previous was 115 yards. And what's interesting, though, this game of football is always momentum shifts back and forth, back and forth. And right now, if you're Oregon, you got to hope the crowd gets back into it, and you put a stop on Arizona State right now.
Even a field goal here would be big trouble for Oregon. It would expand that 8-point advantage and make it a necessity for at least a touchdown and a field goal. Hakeem Hill carries. He does not get the first down, but he gets it to the 12-yard line, where it will be 3rd down and 2, and the clock winding down, 4:26.
And this is an opportunity for Arizona State, knowing that Nick Aliotti, the defensive coordinator for Oregon, may sell out to stop the run here. Great time to play action. They did earlier in the game. They play action and got the ball to Jamal Lewis down the middle of the field. And I wouldn't be surprised again if they play action and just try and get the ball to one of those big tight end H-backs.
They've got Brent Miller and then Rudy Burgess. They're trying to call timeout, and they get it called. I think with all that shifting there, they weren't sure about the personnel. So the timeout is called, stops the clock at 3:57.
Yeah, probably the most important 3rd down they have facing them tonight. You score here, you just put all that added pressure back on Oregon to make something happen. They got to come out winging it.
We were talking about Arizona State. If they win here tonight, having a bye and then playing USC, you see after tonight's game, next week at Washington State, a game Oregon will be favored to win. Then they play Arizona, another chance there. Stanford, Washington. As you see, some chances in there in the Pac-10 schedule for Oregon to get some wins. But it's so important with their 1-2 record now that they get off to that good start here at home tonight. They've won 7 consecutive home openers, by the way. Pac-10 home openers.
Yeah, Pilati's been tough at night. I don't know, going up to WSU is not easy, especially Washington State this week having a bye. USC also having a bye. And, you know, Oregon does not have a bye throughout the remainder of the year. Might be difficult for them,
particularly if they don't come off of a win. And they've already been having problems keeping that morale up, and they were really spiked for this game. On the 3rd down 2. Hakeem Hill gets the first down. Tennessee makes the stop, but not until Hakeem Hill, the little baby boy of J.D. Hill, who's really had himself a coming out ball game here tonight. He's had some other good ball games in his career, but this has been the time he had to step up, and in fact he has done it.
Yeah, so true, Bob. He had to step it up, and they couldn't not try and run the ball against the Oregon Duck defense. They came in with a great game plan, using 2 tights, 2 wides, a big set, and those H-backs and tight ends have done a great job blocking.
1st and goal from the 7. Here is Hill, darting inside the 5. They'll spot it right near the 5-yard line with the clock down to 3:20. So this is in chip shot field goal range. It's an 8-point Sun Devil lead.
And Zach Miller, watch him. He presses his guy down, and you collapse the corner, and you're just able to recapture that real estate on the offensive side of the ball. They just had great blocking on the edge.
How about the pancake block from Terry Richardson, the wide receiver?
The guy in there mixing it up.
185 pounds. Yeah, he took his man down. It's time for our Pioneer play of the game, and you've got to say there's been some big plays, but I got to call it this one, the long run by Hakeem Hill. Yeah, and they did a great job. The offensive line that time, a great job. Krula did a great job. Zach Krula came around, and of course Grayling Love just put his man on the ground and allowed Hakeem Hill all that room to run. 60 yards on that helped him get up to where he is now at the 128-yard mark here tonight. The clock at 3:18. Second down 5 for the Sun Devils. And you can see the worry clearly on the face of Mike Bellotti. He's the dean of Pac-10 coaches. This Oregon program's been the winningest program in the Pac-10 over the last 10 years. He's 76-36 here, but struggling this year. There are a lot of distractions for both ball clubs. He's had a couple of players leave the team. Now it's second down 5. Here is Hakeem Hill. Look at that pile move forward. He got some help that time from that offensive line. Clock to 3:10.
Boy, push they did. Getting a darn good push. A little guard tackle pull right into the hole, and timeout Oregon.
Along with Craig Sager and Tom Ramsey, Bob Neal with you tonight. Hope you've enjoyed our second game of the doubleheader here on TBS. Texas A&M held on to beat Kansas State in our first game, which was a beauty. Matter of fact, it was a lot closer than the score indicated because Texas A&M scored a late touchdown. But we hope you've enjoyed this ball game here too from Eugene, Oregon.
Boy, going back to something Craig Sager pointed out earlier, Bob, you know, the game in 2002 when Oregon lost Arizona State 45-42, since that time 10-13. And remember, they had won 33 of 36 prior to that game. Now, you got to remember, Joey Harrington was the quarterback, and he was awfully darn good.
Yep.
And so was their system. And taking nothing away from Kellen Clemens, it's a different look team. They don't have the running back that they've always had in the past. They don't have a guy, no disrespect to Terrence Whitehead. His longest run of the year is 22 yards. If you have a guy that can snap off a 60-yarder or an 80-yarder, that becomes a big threat to a defense. And it's a time of adjustment. It's a period of adjustment for Oregon right now.
Third down and 1 from the 1. Walter's going to throw it to Rudy Burgess for the touchdown with 3:07 to go in this game. 27-13 awaiting the point after attempt. That is the second touchdown reception for Rudy Burgess this year.
And Burgess just coming out of the backfield, just a little quick hitter. Nice play, drawn up, just a back out in the flat, and gave themselves a nice opportunity. And Burgess so quick and so fast, no one around him.
Ainsworth in here for the point after, and I think the Sun Devils are proving tonight that they are a team to contend with in the Pac-10. They'll go to 5-0, and this was the game I think that everybody said, let's just see how they do it well. And they've done well. 28-13. Let's go to Craig.
Well, Bob, this is the 33rd consecutive sellout at Autzen Stadium, and you know what? Most of the fans have been here all day, and they're continuing to stay here even though their team is behind 28-13, and that includes Mr. and Mrs. Jerry Stillwell. We're here early this morning over on Freeze Trail on the Willamette River, just a drive and 5-iron from here, and here they are still here celebrating their wedding day. And first of all, it's a beautiful sight for a wedding, but couldn't you find a more intimate setting for your honeymoon?
Hey. Absolutely. Well, we're Duck fans. So
we love the University of Oregon, and we support them every game. And it's great to be here. It's a nice way to spend a Saturday.
That's right.
And I love this girl.
There's always a time for a honeymoon, and this is a great way to start it.
Well, it's so nice that your whole wedding ceremony could come here and join you as well. They're having a good time. Too bad they can't get a victory for you.
24, hey?
Well, congratulations. Enjoy the honeymoon.
Games and many more Duck victories, and we'll be here for a lot of them.
That's right.
Congratulations.
Along with 54,000 of their closest friends. That's a big reception. That's an expensive wedding reception. I guess they paid for everything. Ainsworth to kick off now with this game in the, I never do say never, but it's 28-13 with 3:07 to go. Need a big play. Do the Ducks. That ain't it. Ryan Shaw goes down hard before he got out to the 20-yard line. College football on TBS, brought to you by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Levi's jeans, a style for every story. Pioneer Pure Vision plasma displays, the purest color, the purest experience. And the U.S. Postal Service, with more new ways to use us than ever before. The U.S. Postal Service is working for you. As is Craig Sager, Tom Ramsey, and Bob Neal. We are here tonight with our TBS Sports crew. Job well done once again. I'm not counting myself. I'm too modest to say that. But everybody else. Here's Clemens rolling, throwing, incomplete. As Clemens goes down, Marcus Maxwell was the intended receiver. He's okay. This guy, Kellen Clemens, is a tough football player. Now, I'm sure he would rather be called a winning football player, but he sure does take a lot of licks, and he's got a lot of leadership here. It'll be interesting, as you pointed out, Tom Ramsey, how the Oregon Ducks regroup after this game as they fall to 1-3 with a Pac-10 schedule, the teeth of it facing.
That's right, a very tough Pac-10 schedule, as is every year. Right there, a great shot by Clemens.
And that is a first down catch by Cameron Colvin, a redshirt freshman from Pittsburgh, only his third catch of the year, and that moves the ball out here near midfield.
Another De La Salle High School product out of the Bay Area. Cameron Colvin had a nice practice the other day, Thursday, when we watched.
Got 27 yards on that one, on the first down. Clemens throws the out and gets 7 or 8 yards to Marcus Maxwell, who goes out of bounds, not out of town yet, out of bounds, conserving time down to 2:39.
You know, I'm always amazed. You know, you get the 2-minute offense, and teams really start spraying the ball around. They throw the ball down the field. They get some big chunks of yardage. I always wonder if you started out quick against a team like Arizona State and just try to put it back on their heels. But they've played so well defensively.
On 2nd and 3, Clemens thought he was going to try it. Well, he did try to run for the first down, caught from behind by Jamar Williams. His team speed, the Sun Devils defense has definitely gotten here. And, you know, you talk about that. I've always wondered about that. And you're the quarterback, the college MVP of the Rose Bowl and pro quarterback. Why don't teams do that more? Just come out firing and play a 2-minute drill early.
I think some of it's just fear in turning the ball over. And they don't want to give the opponent too much too soon. Because all of a sudden, if you give a team a great defense, just a slight opening of the door, it can be a landslide sometimes.
I got it.
And that's given a lot of respect to Arizona State. They deserve it. I tell you, they've played hard. They've played fast. They've done the things asked of them, and they know they're good. And they have a quiet confidence about them.
Well, it's going to be a happy night for the Arizona State Sun Devils. After the game, by the way, which is only a minute 55 seconds away, the Dodge postgame show. Ernie Johnson, John Makovic will have scores and highlights of all the biggest games today in college football. And as you know, there were a lot of them. A couple of big surprises. One big surprise, I think, in Columbus, Ohio. This will be 4th down and 1. First down and 10. As Clemens steps in the pocket, runs out of it now. Clemens is going to get the first down and step out of bounds at about the 27. And boy, did he hit it hard over on the sideline. That was Dale Robinson down in there, but I do not see a penalty flag over there, so I don't think any unnecessary roughness was involved.
I think they were trying to hold each other up. Dale Robinson, though, put him in the punter's net.
Yeah,
along with a few other people.
Good non-call. Well, I'm sure Dale Robinson learned to run in his old neighborhood in Queens.
Okay, Oregon's in striking distance now. You get one in the end zone quick, onside kick, conversion.
You got yourself a chance here with 1:42 to go. Oregon has one timeout left, in case that becomes a factor. Clemens can't find anybody. He had to wait so long, he was knocked down from behind by Ishmael Thrower, number 49. Haven't called Thrower's name a whole lot tonight, but he's the other guy opposite Kyle Caldwell, who really has created a lot of challenges for that Oregon team because he's lined up so wide. Oregon just used their last timeout with 1:31 to go, trailing 28-13. Clemens' numbers tonight: 16 of 28, 166 yards, 1 touchdown. The Oregon Ducks have rushed for 134 yards, and they had like a 19-minute to 11-minute advantage on ball control in the first half of the game, but could come away with only 2 field goals. So Oregon's moved the sticks. However, they've not been able to get inside the across the goal line except one time. And you know what? That reflects a little bit, if you look at their numbers on their other games, that reflects what they've been doing in the other games, moving up and down the field, not scoring very much.
Yeah, it's true, because in the Indiana game, they had, what, 495 yards.
Yeah. And they had, 7 turnovers in the game.
Yep.
Now, this game has been, am I wrong, turnover free?
Turnover free.
I just thought that. I thought, how could that be? But it is.
It has been turnover free. Yeah, 495 yards to 198. 7 turnovers killed them and lost the game near the end. Clemens throwing. It's tipped, almost intercepted. But it's desperation time now. Kyle Caldwell was covering. That was Dante Rosario he wanted to get the ball to. Oregon's had more first downs. This just, again, underlines the story we're telling you here tonight. Oregon 19 first downs to ASU's 15. Yep.
But once again, how statistics can lie. At the end of the first half, Andrew Walter had completed 3 passes. That's the good news for Oregon. The bad news was 2 of those were for touchdowns.
That's right.
Back to a 3rd and 14 now with 1:22 to go. And Clemens once again throwing after he had been in the grass, but he completes the pass down to about the 20-yard line to Demetrius Williams, who is a little slow to get up.
Boy, they are on top of Kellen Clemens so fast. So fast. Jamar Williams again. Watch Jamar Williams. Burks and Williams.
Yeah.
They don't. That's not even taking a breath.
Yeah, not much time to check off your other receivers.
No. Demetrius Williams got hammered on that tackle. Ooh.
Yeah, let's see if he's okay. Already, Marley Tucker, defensive back rover for Oregon, went out of the ball game with a dislocated elbow. Robbie Kniebel went out with the right tackle went out with a high ankle sprain, and let's hope that this young man, Demetrius Williams, will be okay. We were talking about the Pac-10 and what I like that's big hair. I hope he's okay. California beat Oregon State 49-7. I mean, Tom Hansen, the commissioner of the Pac-10's here, and I was talking to Tom, who went out down to Corvallis to see that game, and he said, up to Corvallis, down to Corvallis, near Corvallis, he said that California looked really for real, that Oregon State did not play that badly in the game, and California put a lot of numbers up. Short hops the ball intended for Tim Day, and you can tell that Kellen Clemens is just beat up.
Yeah. Guy came off the edge, free guy, and Kellen sidestepped him, but on 4th down, oh man, got to give your guys a chance. You know, one of the interesting things looking at that schedule, Cal, yeah, they're playing great, top 10 team, moving up with a Tennessee loss. You look at who they play this week. They have USC.
Yeah.
Arizona State has a bye. Arizona State will benefit because Jeff Tedford runs the same offense that Dirk Cutter does. Dirk Cutter's going to sit back, and we think he's going to be tuned into that game.
Talk about getting good game video.
Man.
They're going to just let this thing run out here. 45, 44, and counting down. We appreciate your tuning into TBS on this Saturday for our doubleheader. Texas A&M got a win in the Big 12, beating Kansas State in our first game. And now the Sun Devils are going to go to 5-0 on the season. The Ducks will drop to 1-3. Dirk Cutter giving Brent Guy a big old hug, the defensive coordinator. Heck, I'd give him one too. And the clock is ticking down with 10 seconds. The team's on the field. The coach is shaking the hands, and we know that that young man you just saw there, number 11, Kellen Clemens, is not going to sleep well tonight. He had 17 of 31 for 177 yards, but he couldn't get it in the end zone, with the exception of the one shovel pass to Terrence Whitehead. And the Sun Devils win this one 28-13 at Autzen Stadium near the campus of the University of Oregon. The final score, 28-13 Sun Devils. Our next telecast will be next Saturday at 7 Eastern as the Texas Tech Red Raiders host the Nebraska Cornhuskers. For Tom Ramsey, Craig Sager, and the rest of the crew, I'm Bob Neal saying good night from Eugene, Oregon. And now it's time for the Dodge post-game show with Ernie Johnson.
Yeah, thank you, Bob. Welcome back to Studio A. It's 1:45 a.m. in the East, but we never close here. Ernie Johnson, John Mackovic. We've got all the highlights you'd ever possibly want if you promise not to go to bed yet. Promise? Good.
The University of Arizona, home of winning teams. Teams of students and professors are expanding our knowledge of Saturn with the Cassini spacecraft, leading NASA's next mission to Mars, feeding the world by creating hardier species of corn and rice, finding new drugs to cure childhood cancer, changing business, celebrating the human spirit through art, theater, music, and dance. The University of Arizona Tucson, where the spirit of teamwork thrives.
The crack of bats, the roar of fans, the sweet smell of pine tar. MLB 2005 is here. There's Sean Green going deep. Looking good, Adam Dunn. MLB 2005 has everything you love about the game and a nifty online mode so you can play folks across the country. Isn't that right, Eric Chavez? We'll take that as a yes. Rated E for everyone.
PlayStation 2, now just $149.
During the game, complete strangers unite, holding their fingers aloft in celebration of their team's greatness. But after the game, some of those same fans use their fingers for other purposes. When you leave the game, try to exercise some patience. You might even qualify for an Allstate Safe Driver discount, because good sportsmanship should extend to the road. That's Allstate stand. Are you in good hands?
Arizona State a winner 28-13 over Oregon. We welcome you back to Studio A and more of the Dodge post-game report. Ernie Johnson and John Mackovic. We could bore you with a lot of hellos and how you doing, but we're not going to do that. We're going to jump right into the highlights, aren't we?
I'm ready to kick it off. Let's go.
How about with a stunner with Ohio State taking on Northwestern tonight, and the Buckeyes had won 24 in a row over Northwestern, and all of that came to an end tonight. Though Santonio Holmes takes a punt back 62 yards and ties the game up at 10.
It was surprising. Northwestern had this game early. They just kept ahead, and Ohio State had to catch up to them.
Yeah, in fact, right here on Noah Herron's score, it's 27-17. But back come the Buckeyes. They're down 27-20 when Justin Zwick goes to Santonio Holmes. Great catch here.
This brought out the Buckeye fight song.
Yes.
If you remember.
How well I do remember, though I've tried to get that from my memory bank. We go to OT, and here's Mike Nugent. 8 out of 9 field goals coming in, and he misses. And suddenly, Northwestern just a field goal away from winning in overtime, but they do even better than that. Noah Herron, again, he had 111 yards on the night, and that breaks a long drought. A 24-game losing streak against Ohio State. They hadn't won in Evanston since 1958 when I was 2, and they win tonight over Ohio State 33-27. Now, I look at this thing.
Your nose is growing.
Believe me, I was too. I look at this and I say, okay, next week Ohio State has got Wisconsin. So it may be the old, they looked ahead because Northwestern had lost the week before big against Minnesota. you don't say that's the reason this happened.
But, you know, when you're in a conference, some teams just match up better with each other. And Ohio State and Northwestern, surprisingly, match up. And the other thing is Northwestern plays a wide-open style of offense. Ohio State could not find the answer to stop that offense today. Purdue plays that kind of offense. Texas Tech plays that kind of offense. Lots of receivers, one back, quarterbacks involved with a lot of things. I just thought Northwestern showed a lot of grit because they had a chance to kind of cough it up at the end of the game. They stayed in there and won in overtime. I really felt Ohio State had the advantage in the overtime. So now I learned the Northwestern fight.
Yeah, and where were you in 1958?
I was in junior high.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, how big was the Saturday night SEC duel in Knoxville between 3-0 Tennessee and 4-0 Auburn? Big enough to get our buddy Charles Barkley to travel from his Arizona home across the country to cheer on his Auburn Tigers and make a morning appearance on ESPN's College Game Day.
I know where your heart is, but does that mean that your head and your heart are in the same place,
I think
Charles?
Jason Campbell is going to have a great game because they're going to slow down the running game. And for Tennessee, there's light at the end of the tunnel, but there's a train coming.
Wait a minute. Now, where are you going to watch this game? Are you going to be on the sidelines with us?
Yes.
Right down there in front of 110,000?
There's a train coming. Get off the track.
All I want to know, Charles, all I want to know, are you going to wear the jersey when we're on the sideline? Are you going to wear that jersey?
Yes, I am.
All right. Wow, now that's loyal.
You know what? Sometimes it pains me to say this, but Charles was right. Ronnie Brown, right up the gut. 7-0 Auburn.
That's part of the train he was talking about. This is the way Auburn played football all day. A really poor job here. A young freshman quarterback, tall, thin, tries a quarterback sneak, fumbles the ball. Auburn, bam, cashes in right now. Every chance they had to cash in for points today, they were able to do it.
That was Jason Campbell to Ben Obamanu, and then Campbell again to Courtney Taylor. Charles said he needed a big game out of Jason Campbell, and he delivered. They also got great defensive efforts. Junior Rosegreen, 4 interceptions on the night. And Auburn goes to Knoxville and just plants one on Tennessee, 34-10 in front of 104,000 folks. Now West Virginia, Virginia Tech. Look at Vaughn Rivers on Richard Johnson, and then Jameel
getting a little
Adai.
coaching. Don't hit him quite like that, but
look at that.
They took a few shots in this game, West Virginia did. I think the Hokies will remember it, too.
It's a 6-0 game, and there's a golden opportunity that slips by as John Pennington can't handle the pass on 3rd down. They settle for a field goal attempt, and then it's all going downhill.
Hokey. This is their trademark. Kicking game specialists, block the field goal, return it for a touchdown. And sometimes this is all Virginia Tech needs to win a game.
Vince Fuller going 74 yards, and it's 13-0, but the game was not over. 19-6, Rasheed Marshall going 46 yards, and unbeaten West Virginia trying to go 5-0, right there within striking distance. But that was still the margin, 6 points, 19-13, when Marshall was picked off. And again, it's Vincent Fuller, the same guy who had returned the blocked field goal. And West Virginia falls.
See, we used to call that the alligator dance when I was in college.
It's 4-1 now for West Virginia as we go down memory lane with Coach Mackovic. And more highlights on the way. Try to squeeze Georgia and LSU in there. What do you say?
You're watching the Dodge Postgame Report. Dodge, you can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns.
Baby, I didn't treat you quite as good as I should have. If I made you feel second best, girl, I'm sorry I was blind, but you were always on my mind. You were always on my mind.
Tune in tonight for all the late-breaking news from around the country, including sports.
Please listen carefully.
You've been selected to join our
agency
as a remote operative. To achieve
your mission's objectives, you must join forces with other agents online.
Team up with other players online. Siphon filter the Omega strain. Rated M for mature. So stay informed. Stay with us, your top source for news.
PlayStation 2, now just $149.
I thought something was wrong, but I didn't know what. And then he says, Ruby, you have breast cancer. That was months ago. Now, with the help of Ashland Bellefonte Cancer Center, I have my life back. Ashland Bellefonte Cancer Center provided so much support for me. They saw what I needed, and they got it for me.
Ashland Bellefonte Cancer Center, the most comprehensive cancer treatment in the area.
Does your child have asthma? Did you know asthma attacks can be triggered by things like shower curtains, a child's blanket, even a teddy bear? Help prevent your child's asthma attacks. Call 1-866-NO-ATTACKS or visit noattacks.org to get the latest information and avoid the emergency room.
I don't want to feel like a fish with no water.
Back here on the Dodge post-game report. And a reminder that next week it's Nebraska and Texas Tech here on TBS 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Texas Tech was at Oklahoma today. One of the hardest hits of the afternoon right here, delivered by Mark Clayton.
And we saw plenty of them. We called this the old slobber knocker, and now you know what that is.
And that's Chad Johnson, who knows very well what it is. Adrian Peterson ripping off a 61-yarder, and that set up the first Oklahoma score. Then Jason White, not a great afternoon, but he did enough, threw 3 touchdown passes. Didn't have great numbers, but he hit Travis Wilson there.
Yeah, he was functional. He did what he had to do.
Now the Oklahoma defense putting some pressure on Sonny Cumbie and picking off 3 of his passes. That was by Brandon Shelby. And then on a 4th and 6 with a 21-6 score, that one's tipped. Ball goes over on downs early in the 4th quarter. Oklahoma did get a scare in this thing. Adrian Peterson, the great freshman running back, goes down and got some attention, but did return to the game.
They need him next week. That's the Texas game. They need a runner.
And then Jason White again showing some escapability and hitting Travis Wilson. And Oklahoma rolls 28-13 over Texas Tech. They're 4-0, and they win their Big 10 opener, or excuse me, Big 12 opener. Next week, you mentioned it. This is the Red River Shootout, and this is big time stuff. But the defense that you saw from Oklahoma today, what were they able to do against a team that really likes to light it up like Texas Tech?
Yeah, you know, I talked about Northwestern and Purdue and Texas Tech all having the kinds of offenses that are wide open. And here's what Oklahoma did. They were able to play 3 different defenses on 3 downs. The very first down here, these are 3 plays in a row. 3-man rush, 5 men underneath. So Sonny Cumbie can't find anyone underneath. He has to lay it off. The defense rallies to the ball. Short game. Nothing down the field. 2nd down here. Full blitz. Even though Sonny gets away and throws, but he can't look downfield. He has no time. They're after it. Short yardage, and he gets a first down. Here's a zone blitz, and this is the time Jonathan Jackson comes up the middle, unblocked because they're pulling out to block the blitzing linebacker. They fake him out. They don't know who's coming. 3 downs in a row. That's why Oklahoma plays such great defense.
Next week, Oklahoma's defense will be tested by one of the best rushing attacks you will find, and one of the best runners in the country in Cedric Benson today. Texas manhandling Baylor, and there goes Benson for an 11-yard score. Texas needs big things out of Vince Young. Threw a couple of touchdown passes to Tony Jeffrey today. This one from 23 yards out. But once again, the guy who makes it all happen for Texas is Cedric Benson, number 2 in the nation in rushing. Coming into this one at 188 yards on the day and 3 scores as Texas went to 4-0. And 1-0 in the Big 12. Now, LSU in Georgia, and it's the David Green Show, Coach.
And what a year he had in 2003. I'm sure he forgot it after today. They sacked him 10 times, knocked him down, intercepted him 5. But today we saw 1. Now we see 2. Nick Saban is pulling up his pants. He's losing weight watching this game. Now here's David over the top. Beautiful throws. His accuracy today was outstanding. That's number 3. Here comes number 4, down the field. He throws it on the inside, so the receiver only has 1 chance to get it for the touchdown. And I think the 5th one here is his best of all. Shows he's a veteran player. Full blitz, man's unblocked, coming right to him. He avoids him, slips out of the pocket, a 5th touchdown.
School record 5 touchdown passes for David Green. And for more on the victory by Georgia, here is Mark Fine.
Coming into the game with LSU, the Georgia offense had been questioned for its ability to put the ball into the end zone. Well, all those questions were answered today. Not only do they score 45 points, but they do it against one of the best defenses in the country.
Well, really, we had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. And, you know, as long as we knew if we came out and made big plays, we could win this ball game. And we took advantage of that. And, you know, the defense played a good job, and the offense did a good job. And, hey, we won the ball game really big.
You have to make plays, and if we didn't make a couple great catches or a couple great throws, they might have just stoned us. You know, it's kind of a high risk, you know, but high reward type thing. So they were either going to get us or we were going to get them, and fortunately we made more plays this year than what happened a year ago.
And they're still a great team. You know, we just had a momentum day and ran with it, and we never. We just kept on making plays, and when you're in a game like that, you're making plays. You just got to take it and run with it.
It feels real good. You know, we, taking so much slack about it. You know, y'all guys giving us so much crap about it. Oh, offense, they're not doing. You know, they're not any good. They can't put points on the board. Well, you know, we came out here and put 45 on I mean, one of the nation's top defense. So, you know, I'm going right about that.
Of course, when you're in the SEC, not a whole lot of time to enjoy the victory. Next week, Georgia takes on Tennessee, and later in the season, they still get Florida and Auburn. Ernie, back to you.
All right, thanks to Mark Fine. At Georgia, always a tough place to go in and win. They've won 17 straight between the